quick to hit ignore. Buku bitches in my bed. I got scales all on my floor. I got money on the line, plus I'm clocking it galore. I got bitches kissing bitches, all them bitches go explore. I'm feeling way up. I stay up. Put your bitch on my Snapchat while I make her. She want a chance with me, cause she know I'm a rapper. I give a but I never get feelings, cause shorty, I know what you after. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. At 12, gon' find your ass way in New Orleans. Watch I look, I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my pudding. Put two in your man if your man keep a looking. Act like a poopy, your bitch get tookin'. I'm not the type to go fuck with them niggas who fuck with them niggas who stay on some fish. Oh, young and trapping out the bando. From the ceiling fan to the damn floor. Tryna stack my money up, cause that's the only way we can go. Tell my mama that I'm okay. See the money coming through the doorway. Got a bad bitch with a lot of money, that's foreplay. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me.
Trapped inside this spell. Now I feel like your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel that.
Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel. Manchester City today take on AFC Bournemouth. Welcome to our live alternative commentary. We've got lots of people here already. Ashton is here, an absolute regular on the channel, as well as Jack Wilson. Also got Leo here today. Hello and welcome, Leo. And also welcome to the City FC Members Club. Someone has joined the club. It just won't let me view the person who said that because I've put the poll in, which is a bit frustrating. I can't see above the poll, but someone has joined the Members Club. Welcome to the We Are City Members Club. Quite a few people in there as well now for the start of the City FC career mode, of course. I think that has really gained your guys' attention, hasn't it? So, starting 11 for Manchester City today. Ederson does start in goal once again. Rico Lewis comes in for Kyle Walker. That's one significant change of Amal Akanji, Ruben Diaz, and Nathan Ake alongside him in that back four. Midfield three of Manchester City is Rodri, Ilkay Gundogan, and Phil Foden starts in midfield ahead of Bernardo Silva. It is Jack Grealish, it is Riyad Mahrez, and it's Erling Haaland, the Manchester City front three. A very attacking City side. I think City are expecting Bournemouth to sit back and be very defensive. And that is why they've gone with that. We'll look at the Bournemouth team in 1 second, but we also got to talk about the Manchester City bench, because City do have some pretty strong options on the bench, and that is the returning Kevin De Bruyne. Kyle Walker is on the bench as well, but the returning Kevin De Bruyne back from illness, he is on the bench, and he can surely make a big impact for Manchester City if he was to come on. Bernardo Silva also on the bench, Sergio Gomez also there, Maximo Perrone. I think I put Riyad Mahrez on the bench there as well, for whatever reason, the graphics. So Mahrez is in 2 places. I'll take that one out. Riyad Mahrez isn't on the bench for Manchester City today. He's in the starting 11. City have gone with all the strong players. I know who joined. Scott Carson says, Ashton, did Scott Carson join? Just maybe. Just maybe. You have to wait till he comes out the main channel if you're not a member. Scott Carson is on the City bench as well today, actually. So that is good to see him in around the squad. But when I see 2 goalkeepers on the bench, I don't know about you guys, but when I see 2 goalkeepers on the bench, it does sort of, make me think a little bit. Is that because the depth of the team is so weak? Would Laporte take Scott Carson's place? I think probably. But because he's not there, we literally have no one else can play there. So Scott Carson's on the bench. That's my only issue with Scott Carson being on the bench for Manchester City. We saw it against RB Leipzig. When we saw that team against RB Leipzig, the likes of Alexander Robinson in there and other players like that, you just thought, this is not the strongest Manchester City side in the world, and that is why we are lacking areas. That's why City are looking to improve the side over the summer, aren't they? Squad-wise as well as a start 11-wise. Why isn't Alvarez playing instead of Mahrez? Well, I think Pep doesn't like Alvarez in a wide area, only likes in the middle. It's good there's no way to stop. There's a way to stop spoilers in the Discord, said Jack. Yeah, that is really interesting, wasn't it? I think it was Gobby who put that in, that you can stop spoilers. That made a massive difference. Let's have a look at the Bournemouth side as well here today. So, a back 5 for Bournemouth, unfortunately, with a midfield 4 and Dominic Solanke, the lone striker. So, Solanke up top, a midfield 4 of Katara, Lerma, Billing, a new signing from Sassuolo, Traore. It's then a back 5 of Smith, Stevens, Mepham, Senesi, who came in from Feyenoord in the summer, and Zamora. And ex-Barcelona goalkeeper Norberto Neto starts in goal for Bournemouth. It's going to be sort of, looking at that, it's going to be 5v5 for City and Bournemouth, isn't it, really, in the attacking defensive areas. So Bournemouth at back 5, Grealish will lock onto Smith, Gundogan onto Stevens, Haaland onto Mepham, Foden onto Senesi, and Zamora with Riyad Mahrez, and they will pin them back with the midfield 4. The 2 watch Lerma and Billing in the midfield will be watched by Rico Lewis, who'll drop in there for City, go into the midfield alongside Rodri, and then the wingers will be watched by Ake and Akanji, and Diaz stays in Solanke. It's very much man-to-man for Manchester City if we do things that way, which I expect City to do things that way. I don't see attacking full-backs in Ake and Lewis, but then again, we could be wrong, couldn't we? We could be wrong. I wasn't active on Discord in some time. Did something change? Says Ashton. No, everything's still the same on the Discord. On the Discord, in fact, we can't. What was it I was going to say now? On the Discord, what was it now? What the idea of the Discord is? Someone showed me. I think it was his name is Gobby. He showed us that if you guys want to talk about the City FC career mode without sort of ruining everyone's day by seeing all the spoilers, because that is obviously something that is possible. You could see the spoilers, and if you're watching it on the main channel and not watching it on the members section because you're not signed up to the members, then you'd be pretty disappointed, wouldn't you, if you found out that this had happened, or this player had moved, or this player had signed, or this player scored a goal. I can understand that. So there's actually a way on Discord, if you put certain symbols next to the words, you will actually be able to hide hide that. And that's why it's done it that way. And I think it's really good that they've done it that way, actually. So everything's still the same. City FC career mode coming soon on the main channel, the 24th of March. Put it in your diary. It's about a month away from yesterday. And if you're on the members section, as someone has just joined, it's every three days? No, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday you'll see the City FC career mode. So you can watch that now. The first episode is live now. Unedited episode if you want to go and pick that up. And we won't perform as well as Manchester City. And maybe we do face Manchester City pretty early on in that series. You'll have to wait and see. City against Bournemouth today, though. City have got to respond, haven't they? Because Arsenal have won their game. Arsenal did win against Leicester City 1-0. I think Leicester had a 0.01 expected goals against Arsenal, so they hardly created a single chance. James Maddison missed that game, not due to injury, but due to illness. So he did miss the game. That's a big, big miss for them. I mean, he is their sort of creative force, isn't he? And he's also the sort of player you expect to score goals. And without that, I think Leicester City really struggled in the end. In the end, Leicester City could hardly create anything. Arsenal actually had 2 goals ruled out, didn't they? One for a foul on the goalkeeper, and also one that was offside as well. It did look certainly offside. So that's the way it was. Someone's saying Alvarez is starting here. I'm pretty sure Riyad Mahrez is starting today. But have I got that completely wrong? Am I completely out of it here? And have I got this completely wrong and read it completely wrong? Yeah, Alvarez does start for Manchester City. Well, on the lineup I read, Riyad Mahrez started. Someone said about, wait, isn't Alvarez playing instead of Mahrez actually? And you're right, Ashton. On the lineup I read, it said that Julian Alvarez was on the bench and Riyad Mahrez was in the middle. And then when I realised I'd put Mahrez on the bench, I was a little bit confused myself. I thought, I've put Mahrez on the bench there, but then I haven't put Alvarez on the bench. It did confuse me, yeah. So Mahrez doesn't start, Alvarez does. I totally made a mess of that one. I was sure in the lineup I read that Riyad Mahrez on the right-hand side, Julian Alvarez on the right-hand side for City today. Well, that makes me rethink things, actually, and rethink things for the actual way I've put the formation lineup, because it won't be that. Phil Foden will not be in the middle, will he, today? Apologies for making such a mistake. Alvarez will be playing in behind Erling Haaland, really. So Alvarez will be more in the midfield. And we've gone with a more presence in the box again, haven't we? We've gone for a way more of a presence in the box. Like City did at Spurs. I mean, that presence didn't exist at all, did it, when City did that? That presence wasn't there. Erling Haaland had hardly any touches. Julian Alvarez as well had hardly any touches also. So I've updated the team sheet there. Alvarez is back in the middle now. So 4-4-2 thinks Ashton. Yeah, you were right, Ashton. Thank you very much. I read your comment as, is Alvarez starting, and thought, no, he's not. But you're totally right. Alvarez does start. I don't think it'll be a 4-4-2, personally, Ashton. I think it will be Ederson in goal, of course. That's a pretty obvious one. Akanji, Diaz and Ake, your back 3. Gundogan and Rodri in front of that. And then it'll be Alvarez in behind Haaland, in front of Gundogan and Rodri, and Grealish and Foden in the wide areas. Andrew's predictions coming already. A 3-0 to Manchester City. 88% of you guys so far do believe it will be a win for Manchester City. We'll have to see. I mean, I'd love to say I was confident about this game, and you think you should be confident against a side like AFC Bournemouth, shouldn't you? But for some reason, I'm not the most confident. I think that that Forest game stuck with me a little bit. The way that City played, and they played well in that first half, destroyed Forest but couldn't get the goal. And I'd say they destroyed Forest in the second half as well. But they destroyed Forest without putting the ball in the back of the net, and you can't be doing that, can you? That is the big issue. You can't be playing that well and not scoring goals. And to take the positive from it, you thought, well, if we play like that for the rest of the season, we will win the league because, you know, City will beat everyone. But then Leipzig didn't look so good either. City, in similar fashion, dropped the tie at Leipzig. If they came away with a 1 or a 2-0 win, a 3-0 win like they should have had in the first half against Leipzig, be pretty happy like they should against Forest, but we didn't. And that seems to be happening time and time again for Manchester City. And that is a big worry. That is a big worry for me, because you've got Erling Haaland up top, who is the most lethal finisher perhaps in world football. And the chances are not falling to him. They fall into other people, and those people aren't finishing those chances. So that is an issue in my mind. And I think surely Pep Guardiola thinks that's an issue as well. City should be scoring more goals. We're not scoring more goals. And that's disappointing, isn't it? That's very disappointing. We're around just under 5 minutes away from kickoff here. Bournemouth sit in 19th place in the Premier League. 23 games played for Bournemouth. 21 points. Minus 23 goal difference. Leeds United got a win today, so that meant Everton dropped down back into the relegation zone. Leeds United lead by 1 point on them. West Ham on 23 points. The players are in the tunnel. Leeds in Bournemouth, in the classic black and red stripes, and City in the sort of green kit today, the B kit. I don't know why they didn't play in the blue kit. Most home goals conceded this season, and most goals conceded this season. Home goals, Bournemouth have conceded 12. The least home goals this season. City have conceded 13, the second least home goals. So that is a stat that is positive in Bournemouth's favour. And City don't have a particularly good away record this season in the Premier League. And that is something that is got to be on your mind, isn't it? That maybe City are not going to go out and be amazing today. Paul Tierney is the referee. That is something that you want to worry about. But I think any standard of refereeing in the Premier League is poor. Every standard of refereeing is poor. So I don't think we can blame Paul Tierney just yet. But we'll have to see how he performs here. 9 votes so far on the City FC poll. And the game is set to be underway. The players come out onto the field here at the Vitality Stadium, one of the smallest stadiums in the Premier League. Does not hold so many players, does it? So many teams, so many fans here at Bournemouth. And we'll have to see what goes on with today's game. I'd like to give a prediction. I know Andrew's gone with a 3-0 for City there, and I know some of you guys come in predictions, and usually you guys ask me what's your prediction, but I haven't got one. I certainly haven't got one. I think it's going to be a very difficult game for City. I think it's going to be a game where Bournemouth sit back. They're going to try and do what Nottingham Forest did and hope Manchester City don't score their chances, really, and hit City on the counter. And City have no choice but to make sure they finish their chances, because they might become, they might not get many chances today because of the negative lineup from Bournemouth and Gary O'Neill. We'll run through the Bournemouth side once again for Gary O'Neill, who's done a pretty good job, really, trying to keep Bournemouth in the Premier League at the moment. Not so good, but good enough considering where they were. So Neto starts in goal for Bournemouth, and he is an ex-Barcelona goalkeeper. A back five of Adam Smith, Jack Stevens on loan from Southampton, Chris Mepham, Marcos Senesi, and Jordan Simora, a young fullback in there. Midfield four of Quattara, Philip Billing, Jefferson Lerma, and Hamad Traore. The four in the midfield for Bournemouth. And then the one man up top on his own, ex-Liverpool and Chelsea man, it's Dominic Solanke. He looks lively at times, Solanke, and at times, I remember when he was coming through the Chelsea youth system, they said about him, taking over from Diego Costa. I never thought that was possible, and I think that's been proven, hasn't it? The fact that he's at Bournemouth now. MK says, hi everyone, a 4-1 win for City. Fies is looking for a great game today from the team, and let's win, come on City. Well, I hope you're all right. Edison starts in goal for Manchester City. A back four of Rico Lewis, Manuel Akanji, Ruben Diaz, and Nathan Ake there for City. A midfield three for City. It starts, a midfield two really of Rodri and Ilkay Gundogan, we'd say. In behind, then Erling Haaland, Phil Foden on the right, Jack Grealish on the left, and Julian Alvarez, the second striker. So the big main man up top, the number 9, who couldn't get a goal at Leipzig, but hardly had a chance in the game. Only one chance all game in Germany. It is Erling Haaland. I think we are actually live again for the 5th game in a row. I think next week on Tuesday, Manchester City take on Bristol City. City have got the likes of Ortega, Carson, Walker, Phillips, Kevin De Bruyne returns, Bernardo Silva, Sergio Gomez, Riyad Mahrez, and Maximo Pirone on the bench. Will he ever make his Premier League start Premier League appearance, Manchester City? He just might at some point. I mean, say we get a few injuries in midfield, he may be one to come on. Dominic Solanke for Bournemouth this season. He's number 1 ranking in goals and assists for the club. He's number 1 in terms of shots, number 1 for shots on target, and number 1 for shots in the opposition box. So that shows who is the danger man for Bournemouth today. Their leading man, their number 9, Dominic Solanke. Edison's save percentage this season is 58%, and his first 5 seasons his save percentage was 70%. This season 58%. That shows that Edison has dropped off in his performances. Certainly looks like that, doesn't it? Neto, the captain for Bournemouth, come from Barcelona. Played as well for Valencia for a time. The Brazilian. And now at Bournemouth, it's a bit of a change in the Brazilian's career, isn't it? So City versus Bournemouth. And we have kickoff here at the Vitality Stadium, where City quickly win the ball back through Rodri and try to assert dominance and possession on this game. Enrico Lewis immediately steps into midfield to Manchester City as they play this 3-2-5-1 that it is. Ruben Diaz for Manchester City at the back. Manuel Akanji back to Diaz. But Bournemouth, you know, trying to get up the league if they can. Diaz goes straight away, route one into Haaland. Julian Alvarez for Manchester City. Alvarez here, looking for a cross, and he goes far post to Grealish. Studied across the box to Haaland here. Could fall to Grealish. Could fall to Gundogan. Grealish has a shot. Come back to him. And it's behind for an early corner. That was a good chance for City. That was a very good chance for City. Ball by Alvarez to far post. Found Jack Grealish, who tries to head it back across the box to Erling Haaland, but it was Diaz breaking the lines with an early pass to Haaland. That's better from City, looking for Haaland immediately. Corner ball for Manchester City. Swung in here to the far post to Rodri, headed away by ex-Huddersfield man Philip Billing. Alvarez into Rodri, off the heel of Rodri. A bit of a heavy pass by Alvarez, and behind for a throw-in for Bournemouth on this left-hand side to be taken by Zamora, who slowly strolls across. Bournemouth will probably take their time with throw-ins and set pieces and try and run down the clock. The less time they play Manchester City for Bournemouth, the better. Closer they are to getting a point, possibly. Zamora on the throw-in here. Into Billing, down to Zamora. Long ball forward by the fullback. And away by Akanji up to Ilkay Gundogan. Round the corner to Jack Grealish, misses him. Bournemouth cleared away, and it goes behind for a throw-in. Right-hand side over the halfway line in City's half, but Rico Lewis picks up quickly and throws into Manuel Akanji. Akanji for City. Rodri in the short sleeves here today. Akanji in the long sleeves. Akanji. Clipped in behind to Julian Alvarez. Can't control it. Gives it away to Bournemouth under pressure. He was from Senesi. Fellow Argentinian there at the back, actually. Senesi. Came from Feyenoord in a £25 million move this summer. Was linked heavily with a lot of clubs. So ball back to Neto here. He's nearly cut out by Alvarez. Bournemouth playing out the back confidently. Lerma. Zamora. And he plays it out to play for a throw-in for City. Poor pass by Zamora. I think any team you play in the Premier League now, most City fans are on left-back watch just to see a left-back play with a little bit of quality. And they think, you know what, City should sign him. Well, Zamora's one that City might keep an eye on today, City fans. But I don't think he's going to be the one. And he's certainly not City level. Phil Foden here under pressure from Zamora. Good tackle by the fullback actually on Phil Foden. And there is a counter coming forward here for Bournemouth. Wide to the Ivorian Traore. Onto Zamora. Zamora with a left-footed swing into the far post here. Great chance for Bournemouth. Ake misses the header. Could fall to Bournemouth in the end. Ederson picks it up. Good chance there for Bournemouth. Ederson throws it out to Phil Foden. Into Julian Alvarez here. Chance for City. Alvarez going to place ball in behind to Haaland here. Goes to play it in behind to Haaland. It's intercepted by Bournemouth. But nice chance for Julian. Just couldn't get the pass off. City win it back with Ilkay Gundogan. And he goes into Ake. But it's a lively start from City actually. City looking to go forward. But so are Bournemouth. I mean, their fullback Zamora there bombing forward and played a really nice ball to the far post. Solanke couldn't get in the end of it. Foul on Rico Lewis. Referee plays on. Late one by Dominic Solanke on young Rico Lewis. Here's Diaz. Akanji. Back to goalkeeper Ederson, who was announced to be starting today when the lineup was leaked early. I mean, that wasn't a surprise for me, but maybe there was some thoughts about him not starting. Grealish into Gundogan and sliding his Philip Billing to beat him to it. Billing, who really made an impression the other day when he came with Huddersfield quite a few seasons ago, was signed by Bournemouth the next season. The season after that, once Huddersfield had gone down. They've signed some shrewd players, I think, Bournemouth, actually, over the years. We've started spending more big now this season, much bigger. But will that keep them in the Premier League? I'd be surprised to see players like Neto, Senesi play in the second division of English football. Ederson, Akanji. Bit of trouble here, Akanji. He's given it away. Rico Lewis has to clear it out for a throw-in. Rico Lewis says to goalkeeper Ederson, play it long, don't play it short. There was no option on there. Good to see Rico Lewis playing again. Pep Guardiola has great trust in Rico Lewis, doesn't he, being only 18 years of age? You don't usually see players under Pep Guardiola. Even Phil Foden, for example, under Pep Guardiola did not play as many times as Rico Lewis has done. Zamora taken off him by Foden. Lewis in there to win it back. Foden to Rodri. Rodri forward for City into İlkay Gundogan. Diaz. City needs to move the ball a little bit quicker here, but Diaz slows it down for City. City don't want to take risks. They want to keep control if they can do as much as possible. Here's Rodri. Rico Lewis in midfield for City. Rodri. Gundogan finding a bit of space because Rico Lewis is dropping a bit deeper and dropping into that central space. Rodri for City. Diaz. Diaz into İlkay Gundogan. Back to Ake. Bournemouth staying in their shape but still pressing City when in possession. Trying to make it difficult to play out from the back for Manchester City. Ake. Flicked round the corner by Grealish to Haaland. Couldn't find him. Diaz. Heading forward to Lerma. Lerma back in behind here. An offside player. Bournemouth can't go for it. In the end, he just leaves it for Diaz to pick it up ahead of Ederson. Manchester City looking to work the ball forward. Lovely ball by Diaz again into Haaland. Trying to go route one. Rodri in there. City can't win it back. Haaland. Unlucky City. But City keep the press on it. They're unlucky not to win it back there. Chris Mepham. Adam Smith. It's a bad pass by the Bournemouth winger. Quintana on that far side. Straight into City and him to Rico Lewis. Rodri. Ake. Given away by Nathan Ake. Then he goes wide to Grealish. Grealish picks it up. Rarely gives the ball away, Jack Grealish, does he? He's one of those who seems to skip past the challenges, keep possession for City. And if he doesn't, you know, get the pass off, he draws a foul. That's his big quality. Ake. Back to Ederson. City playing at a slower tempo now than they did in the first few minutes. Ederson long and out to Jack Grealish. Headed on by Grealish to Erling Haaland. With a little turn of pace by Haaland. Finds İlkay Gundogan. Gundogan looks far right to Phil Foden. It's a wonderful pass by the German. Foden skips inside here. Phil Foden. Foden still. Into Rodri. Haaland and Gundogan in the box here for City. Rodri looks for a shot from range here. Rodri hits it. Early start. Over the bar by Rodri. But he stood off him there, the Spaniard. And the big midfielder thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. Got too much on it. And it goes over the bar and wide as well. Too high and too far left by Rodri. But a good try by Rodri there. Nearly finding the back of the net. Didn't quite test Neto, but try to test the goalkeeper early. Right idea from Rodri, really. Just set you know, an idea for the City players to shoot on target, to shoot on sight when they can. Neto to take the goal kick here for Bournemouth. He's taking his time. Is the Brazilian. Lump long and forward here to Solanke. Rodri loses out the header. Ake against Quintana. And Quintana foul on Nathan Ake. Handball. Free kick City taken by Diaz. Rodri plays into Manuel Akanji. Kanji's got Foden out to the right of him, but he goes back into the middle to Ruben Diaz. Diaz for City. Into Ake. Ake with the ball in behind to Jack Grealish. Great ball by Nathan Ake. And Haaland now picks up in the left-hand channel. Erling Haaland looking for a ball into the box here. Pulls it to the edge of the box to Julian Alvarez. Intercepted by Lerma, who nearly dribbles it right into Phil Foden in his own box. He managed to poke it through to Zamora. He lumps it away long. Akanji into Lewis and somehow managed to pass it back to Diaz there. I don't know if he meant that, Rico Lewis. In the end, it was a fantastic pass. Ake. On that left-hand side, Akanji on the right. Akanji into Foden. Ake, though, with a lovely pass into Grealish that he nodded down into Erling Haaland. Gundogan around the corner and backwards to Rodri. Wide to Nathan Ake again for City. I think City are slowly getting used to this formation, this way of playing. Bournemouth knock it away, but only as far as Rico Lewis. Rodri. Akanji. Akanji onto Phil Foden. Back to Akanji. Akanji for City. Rodri. Gundogan. Clipped into Nathan Ake in this left-hand channel. Good play. Ake. Little drop of the shoulder. Back into Rodri in the centre. Cross to Akanji. City's defence pushing high here. Manuel Akanji. Ruben Diaz. Every player in the Bournemouth half-bar Ederson. Ake. Gundogan. Dispossessed here, but a throw into Manchester City. City trying to pick up the pace there in the passing, but just couldn't. Intercepted. City just need to make sure they drag Bournemouth left to right. Open up those pockets of spaces that Alvarez and Phil Foden and İlkay Gundogan, Erling Haaland will find. Rico Lewis. Wide to Phil Foden. Foden in behind it. It's a bad pass by Foden, given away to Bournemouth. He tried to clip it in behind the Bournemouth defend. Senesi. Zamora lets it run all the way through to Rico Lewis, who's there ahead of Traore. And it's a foul, and Rico Lewis did well there, Rico. Seems very confident, Rico Lewis, whenever I see him play. Especially for his age. Confident in playing this system. Akanji. Diaz. Got Grealish on the far left, but Diaz goes into Ilkay Gundogan. It's a nice pass by Diaz again. He's doing that brilliantly from the back. Rodri. Out wide to Jack Grealish on this left-hand side here. Grealish one-on-one with Smith. Katara comes out to help out. Grealish goes to the cross in it. Deflects. Falls back to Rodri on the edge of the box here. Rodri. Rico Lewis. Lewis skips it. Flicks it into Foden. Foden back to Phil Foden here. Shot blocked by Mepham. Bodies in the box there. Foden still managed to get a shot off. Right at the Bournemouth player in front of him. Jack Grealish for City. Grealish. Rodri. Into Ake. Handball by Katara. City protest, but they say no. It is a counter for Bournemouth here, led by Katara. In behind to Solanke and easily intercepted by Akanji. Well, City wanted a handball. Paul Tierney said no. And can't give them a chance here. Great ball until Ilkay Gundogan, who spins on it. Gundogan. Arms all over Ilkay Gundogan, but Paul Tierney says no foul. Bournemouth give it back to City anyway. Jack Grealish. Haaland makes a running behind here. Grealish. Haaland's pulled him away from Grealish. Wide to Phil Foden. Zamora beats him to it. Foden's touch just takes him away from Zamora in the end. Make sure he gets it back. Diaz. Phil Foden. Ruben Diaz. Diaz into Akanji, who's now gone into the centre spot of our back three. Akanji. Rico Lewis. Diaz. Foden. Back to Diaz again. City still trying to find that space in behind this Bournemouth defence. Mamal Akanji. Nathan Ake. City have been pushed backward by Bournemouth. Now they go forward to Jack Grealish. Grealish. Back to Ake. Edison on the ball now in his own half here. In his own box here. City are slowly working the way at Bournemouth. Foden's had a shot. Rodri's had a shot. Just under 12 minutes gone here. Phil Foden. Back he goes to the goalkeeper Edison. It's a bit of a short one. Who Edison beats Solanke to it. Diaz skips past the Bournemouth player. Long ball forward to Erling Haaland, who tries to clip it back to Alvarez. It was a bad pass by Haaland and straight to the Bournemouth player. Then Jefferson Lerma forgets the ball and City can pounce on a mistake here. Ilkay Gundogan. Tackled by Billing on the centre circle. It's a throw-in for City. It's a bit scrappy at times this game. We're seeing Bournemouth give away the ball a lot in midfield. We're seeing City at times just underhit their passes, but Bournemouth don't look confident at all. Billing and Lerma twice have fallen over the ball and not been able to pass it, not find the pass forward. Diaz for City. Into Akanji. Wide right to Phil Foden. He's got options. Phil Foden's going to skip inside and go back into the centre of the defence with Ruben Diaz. Mamal Akanji for Manchester City. Back to Diaz again. Good pressing from Solanke here on Diaz, and it's forced City all the way back to the goalkeeper Edison. Goes into Rodri. Nice play out from the back from City there. Completely break the Bournemouth press, and now City can go forward with Diaz breaking out from the back. Solanke has given up. Ruben Diaz looks long for Haaland here. Haaland in behind the Bournemouth defence. Neto off his line to pick it up. Nice idea though by Diaz, causing problems, and Haaland will appreciate that. Ball's going forward, going into him. Good tackle by Diaz on the far right hand side on Solanke and throwing for Bournemouth. Well, Solanke is going to try and hold the ball as much as possible, doesn't he, for his Bournemouth side really today. That's the only way he's going to help them out. Solid pace of Haaland, by the way, on that ball over from Diaz. Just a bit of an overhit pass by Diaz, but he had to get it in behind the defence for Haaland to go onto, and the goalkeeper Neto read it very quickly as well. Good goalkeeping. Bournemouth go back to goalkeeper Neto here, pressing from Julian Alvarez. And Neto, who's dribbling past Julian Alvarez, and nearly gives it away to Haaland on the edge of the box with a poor pass. Ake goes and intercepts it. Grealish back into Ake. And Bournemouth, keep it in. Good touches by Qatar and wins his side of throw-in. Nice touch there. Chris is here. Good to have you, Chris. Haaland is not playing as much on the last shoulder as usual. He is sort of dropping a little bit deeper, just to try and be slightly more involved in the game, perhaps. Jack Stevens at the heart of this Bournemouth defence. Out to Senesi. Left-footed pass into Billing in the middle. Oh, it's given away here. Rico Lewis, good interception. Julian Alvarez, Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan. Over the top to Phil Foden here. Foden! Oh, takes it round the keeper. Haaland on the reverse. Off the crossbar. And Julian Alvarez finish it off for Manchester City. 1-0 City. And it's Julian Alvarez who scores. But that was an odd one. Ilkay Gundogan from the left-hand side of the box clips it in to the far post towards Phil Foden. He takes it down between the full-back and goalkeeper, takes it round the goalkeeper, goes for a shot but can't score. It falls back to Haaland, who smashed it off the crossbar. And off the crossbar, it falls to Julian Alvarez, pretty much stood on the line, who taps it in. 1-0 Manchester City. Alvarez into Gundogan. Gundogan, lovely pass over the top to Phil Foden, who's a mile onside. What a touch by Foden to take it around the keeper. Just gets a toe on it. Oh, Haaland's shot deflects off the sliding Senesi onto the crossbar, like 2 or 3 yards out from the goal. But it's a brilliant ball by Gundogan over the top. Neto actually just gets a toe on it to flick it away from Phil Foden, who nearly takes it round him. Falls to Haaland, who smashes it onto Senesi on the floor, flicks onto the crossbar, off the crossbar, and falls perfectly to an absolute poacher in Julian Alvarez. And when he starts, Julian Alvarez scores. 1-0 City in 15 minutes here. You certainly did join at the right time, Chris. City lead by 1-0. And it's Julian Alvarez for Manchester City here. And City lead at Bournemouth after 15 minutes. It was a really nice work goal. Foden had a chance. Haaland had a chance, but it was Julian Alvarez in the right place at the right time. A real poacher there to tap it into the roof of the net. Akanji here, ball forward to Haaland, flicked it off to Alvarez, into Gundogan, he goes to play it first time in behind to Haaland. He wasn't quite on the same wave then, they hadn't made the run. It's gone back to Bournemouth here, Neto. I mean, Bournemouth still persist to play it out from the back. Let's hang on to the lead this time, says Chris. Let's double the lead, Chris, that'll be even better. Triple it. Good play from Bournemouth here, Rodri across. Bournemouth player goes to ground, and the referee gives a free kick here for a bit of a shoulder barge on Smith. I think Pep Guardiola was frustrated with that one as well. Adam Smith runs away from fullback across the halfway line. Rodri's across to him. It's a physical challenge by Rodri, but more of a shoulder. Just showing his power more than anything. Smith goes down, free kick to Bournemouth. The vote's still coming in. 79% of you guys still think City will win from this point onwards. Ball forward to Solanke, who's used his strength fantastically against Ruben Diaz, who's absolutely all over him. But his arms are all over him, and it's going to be a free kick to Bournemouth again. Shots so far for City, 5 and 1 on target. Bournemouth, no shots, none on target. City have had 8 touches in the opposition box compared to Bournemouth's 1. Here's Traore for Bournemouth, a ball in behind to Solanke. He's trying to get it through an absolute sea of City players. He couldn't do good. Traore intercepted by Rico Lewis, and Traore in the end trying to make up for the mistake, trying to win the ball back tenaciously off Rico Lewis, gives him a bit of kick in the back of the legs, and it's a free kick for Manchester City. But I have to say, the ball by Gundogan into Foden, the first touch by Foden for the goal for City, was majestic. It really, really was. And City now lead by 1-0. But we've been in this position plenty of times before, haven't we? As City fans, we've seen where that goes. Ederson into Rodri. Risky pass. And Diaz out to Nathan Ake. Ake. Grealish. Jack Grealish away from Adam Smith. Grealish skips past a few challenges. Brilliant from Grealish. Still going here, Grealish. And back into Diaz. Grealish again. Back to Diaz once more. Grealish playing as a centre-back himself. Nathan Ake. Bournemouth have conceded only 12 goals at home this season. That's goal number 13. They're now level with City. Ederson for City. Is he going to go long here? Ederson passes it straight to Bournemouth. Right when he's not even in his goal. He's lucky it was a poor touch by Bournemouth there. Good defending by Akanji, who really gets close to the Bournemouth player straight away. And they've actually ended up going all the way back to the goalkeeper Neto here, Bournemouth. But that's really bad from Ederson. If Bournemouth were a bit more alive to it, you could have took a touch there. I think it was Traore and shot straight away. Gundogan, another ball over top to Ilkay Gundogan. Could fall to Haaland on the rebound. Haaland in towards Alvarez. Finds Phil Foden instead. Foden back into Gundogan, who's playing some really nice balls over top here to Phil Foden so far. Rico Lewis. Diaz. Rico Lewis turns. Lewis. Touch the top of his studs and then out to the right-hand side to Phil Foden. Back they go to Akanji, the City. Ruben Diaz stood in the centre circle. Great ball into Ilkay Gundogan. Haaland's through here, but Gundogan couldn't go forward. Gundogan here. He's got Haaland to go into. He goes into Haaland. Haaland with a good touch. Haaland still and dispossessed here. Second touch wasn't so good from Erling Haaland. Solanke beaten to it by the proactive Rico Lewis as Bournemouth look to create an attack going forward. Great pace from Lewis. And City have the ball back again. It's been all City so far in this first half, but we've seen this in the last 3 games from City. All the ball good in the first half, but then dip off in the second half. I think City really do need to find a second and third goal here. And they need to keep that pressure and go within 2 points of Arsenal with a win here today, but Arsenal still would have a game in hand. Diaz. Lewis. Spins. Out to the right-hand side to Phil Foden. Alvarez in behind. Foden decides not to go to him. Haaland in the centre there, but City don't go to him either. Akanji. Into Ilkay Gundogan. He's picking up all sorts of spaces here today. Gundogan tackle, but tackle only goes to Rico Lewis. And Foden back to Akanji. 20 minutes on the clock here at the Vitality Stadium. And City are very much in control. Bournemouth seemingly seem to have taken a leaf out the Nottingham Forest's book and just try and ride their luck. Ball in behind by Alvarez to Haaland. Here's Haaland. Haaland with a shot here. Defended away by Bournemouth just, and it's a corner ball for City. Well, Haaland runs off the right-hand side of the defender. Great ball by Alvarez, and Haaland here tries to get on shot on target. I don't think it would have gone in the end. Just tried to hit it hard and low. He was a bit too wide on the left-hand side of the goal. It's behind for a corner. Good defending in the end by Stevens. Good recovery. All the big boys in the box here for City. Foden with a cross in here. Diaz with a header! And it's just whiskers past the far right-hand post by Ruben Diaz. Goes the crossing by Foden's low. Diaz drops to his knees to head this one towards goal. Diaz, so close. Billing, you look like he's going to clear it off the line. He pulls his leg away. He knows it's going wide. Just past the far post by him. Nathan Ake lands on top of Smith. Nathan Ake. Didn't mean to hurt Smith there in that challenge. It's just a throw-in for Bournemouth. Ake's fantastic, isn't it? Sometimes Haaland's control is clumsy, like a giraffe trying to crack open a coconut with his hoof. Yeah, not very majestic, is it, Haaland, trying to control the ball, Chris? I think that probably does come with his size. I mean, it doesn't help, does it, being, 6'5" and massive. What actually that reminds me of, if you think of Real Madrid against Liverpool in the Champions League the other day, Thibaut Courtois, he's around 6'5" as well, 6'6", and he tried to control that ball, didn't he? He made the mess of the Liverpool goal, and I think his legs were just so long, like a giraffe. He described Haaland. It just bounced off his knee, and he couldn't do anything about it. His legs were just too long, and it seems like with Haaland sometimes. I have to say though, before when the ball got fizzed into him, he took a really good first touch. It was the second touch that let him down. But I think that's not his game, is it really, Haaland? He wants to take a touch into space and smash it. Here's Rico Lewis for City. Good play by City. Lewis. Good play. Gundogan round the corner to Phil Foden and give it away. Foden was going in behind and Gundogan wanted him to come short. Traore. Nice ball in behind to the fullback Zamora. There's Solanke in the middle here. Diaz goes across to stop the cross, and the cross into Ederson's hands. Not Diaz's hands, or it would have been a penalty. But he looks lively, you know, the wing-back Zamora, I have to say. Great ball by Traore through to him. City open up a lot of space. Diaz in the end goes to go across to stop the cross, and he closes the angle down for the cross from Zamora. And it's straight into Ederson's hands. But a good cross from there. Solanke's in the middle. Haaland wins the header here. Gundogan beaten to it by Smith. It's going to be a free kick Bournemouth's way for a push by Ilkay Gundogan and Adam Smith, which Gundogan, the captain, arms out, isn't happy with it. Adam Smith says to Gundogan, well, it's a foul. Adam Smith's got a bit of history of trying to get players sent off at Manchester City. He's done it quite a few times, the Bournemouth man. He actually got Nolito sent off once, I think. And nearly a second time. So Chris Mepham to take this one for Bournemouth. It's about 10-15 yards over the halfway line. They are going to try and swing this in. Get the centre-backs up. Mepham sends it long and up, the Welshman. Akanji wins the header. Down to Senesi, who tries to lump it back into the box here. Stevens against Lewis, he wins the header in. Knocked on to Katara. Rodri back to his goalkeeper Ederson, who just keeps it in. Bournemouth fans thought it was a corner. City play on. Ilkay Gundogan. Pass it. He does do. Julian Alvarez. Wide to Phil Foden here. Bits of pockets of space opening for Bournemouth. Foden. Rodri. Rico Lewis in space on this right hand side. Lewis. Could he put a cross in? He sides against it. Cuts inside with the left foot. Lewis into Alvarez. Back to Rodri. Rico Lewis wanted the return pass there with a little 1-2. Alvarez decided against it. Akanji. Rodri. Left hand side to Ake. Back to Diaz again. Bournemouth are really sitting in the shape, and every now and again someone might press the man on the ball. Akanji. Ball through to Haaland. It's a poor one by Akanji. Gives it straight to Bournemouth. Billing. Back to Senesi. Ball in behind Akanji. Good space found by Lerma, who's bumped into the back of him by Diaz, and the referee looks to play on, but Katara saying it's a head injury. He's holding his head. The City are going to have to stop here because it is a head injury. Rico Lewis comes across to Katara just to check that the winger is okay. You got a bit of a bump in the back from Ruben Diaz. Wow, there's nothing in it, Katara. Get up. Painful one, apparently, describes Sky Sports. I don't think so. Django is his other name. Django Katara there. There was hardly anything in the number 11. He'll be fine. He's back up and seemingly no head injury for him anymore. Jack Grealish for City on his left-hand side. Grealish has been quite quiet today. It's been all Phil Foden on the right at the moment. Grealish. Diaz. Diaz still. Into Ilkay Gundogan. Nice first touch by Gundogan, but a leg stuck in by Mepham and City dispossessed. And Bournemouth look to counter with Traore. Lerma into Solanke. Good touch by Solanke and brilliant hold-up play by Dominic Solanke. But Alvarez in there to try and win it back. He did for a second. And Solanke picks it back up. And Solanke turns and runs to the opposition. And Solanke wide to Zamora. And Zamora here. Good option in the box. Zamora to Solanke. Good touch. Solanke goes down. No penalty. Falls back to Traore. City block it away. Diaz into Traore and behind for a goal kick. Young DJ asks who scored. It was Julian Alvarez who scored for Manchester City with a tap-in. Solanke here, I don't think he was fouled. He just run into City players and then threw himself to the ground. Good defending by Diaz and a shot by Traore. I don't think it was a foul at all on Solanke or a penalty, certainly. I think he's fine, Solanke. I think even himself, it was sort of a hopeful look towards the referee from Solanke. Haaland heads it down to Gundogan brilliantly. Foden's in so much space. Gundogan into Haaland. Foden was in so much space, but Gundogan didn't back himself to make that pass. He went for Haaland instead, and it was intercepted. Zamora for Bournemouth. Traore. Past Akanji. Good ball towards Solanke, who flicks it past Ake, but Dominic Solanke has found himself in an offside position here. That's poor from Solanke. If you're a Bournemouth fan, you would not be happy with the strikers off there. He is offside here, Solanke, by 2 or 3 yards. He surely can see it. He can see right across the line. He must know he's offside. So, free kick Manchester City. He has to take it. So, Gundogan tried a ball through to Haaland at one end when he had Phil Foden in acres of space on the right-hand side and didn't back himself to make the pass. Bournemouth come the other end. Bournemouth try as well. Alvarez here. Good control by Alvarez, but he flicks it right to Phil Foden. It's straight to Bournemouth. Here's Traore. Back to Zamora. Senesi. Lerma. Zamora. Tackled by Phil Foden. I think he's having quite a good game, the left-back Zamora. Akanji looking like a liability at the moment, says Chris. Yeah, I think Akanji's problem at the moment is he's being very, very aggressive in the press. And when he presses forward, he just leaves so much space in behind him. And that's causing the problems for City. With Rico Lewis playing in midfield, not at right back, that means there's a lot of space on that right hand side. And that's causing the problems for City. Lerma passing to Traore. Crossing by Traore. He slips as he tries to swing it on his left foot straight into the hands of Ederson. It bounces about 3 times in front of Ederson there. Not the best one from Traore. Goalkeeper Ederson rolls it out to Diaz to the left of him. Diaz into Nathan Ake. Ake ball forward, blocked away by Katara. So throw-in for City. I don't know how Katara even sort of says to the referee, that's our throw-in. I don't even know how he's appealed for that one at all. When it just bounces off him and behind for a throw-in. Diaz brings the ball forward for City again. He's looking for passes, Diaz here, and the Bournemouth midfielder trying to cut it out. Ake forward to Ilkay Gundogan. Haaland's in behind here. Gundogan across the far post to Phil Foden should score. Haaland's there instead. And it's 2-0 Manchester City. And it's Erling Haaland with a goal in the right place at the right time. 2-0 City. Ilkay Gundogan plays it across the box to Phil Foden. Foden tries to knock it in. And it hits him. I'll have to say this again. Rodri out to Ake on the left-hand side. Ball in behind to Ilkay Gundogan, who makes a really good run. He tries to play it to the far post to Phil Foden. Foden gets a shot. I don't think Phil Foden makes connection with it. It actually falls. He's actually, as Foden goes to hit it, it's defended away by Zamora right up across his own box into the path of Erling Haaland, who taps it in. And it's 2-0 Manchester City. And it's Erling Haaland who scored here. And City are 2-0 up now, and it's Erling Haaland who I've got captain in my fantasy team, as you have to. Every week. Good finish by Haaland. City 2. And Bournemouth 0. Good goal by Haaland. Good ball by Gundogan to the far post to Foden. Foden absolutely burst the best he could to try and get in the end of that. It was good defending by Zamora to get between Foden and the ball. But in the end, it isn't good defending because he's put it straight into the spot for Erling Haaland, who's put it in the back of the net. 2-0 City. Haaland's 27th goal of the season. Sergio Aguero's best ever goal scoring season. He managed to get himself 26 goals. So Haaland's beaten Aguero's current scoring record for City. Much better, says Chris. It is, isn't it? I think it helps that Bournemouth haven't been so good either. MK is absolutely loving this. Rico Lewis back to Ruben Diaz here. Well, if you had a bet on Erling Haaland scoring, you're right. Diaz into Gundogan. Gundogan. Oh, tackle by Lerma on Gundogan, who's gone to the floor here, holding the ankle of the German. Great ball by Diaz into Haaland. Looks like Ilkay Gundogan's going to be okay. What City need to understand is that, I don't know why we haven't understood it, but the more you play it into Haaland, the more problems you cause to the opposition. And we did here, and we scored 2 goals. Why can't we do this every week? I don't know. So Phil Foden over this free kick. City send up all the big boys. Rodri, Haaland, Diaz, Ake, Akanji. So will it be a left foot swinger from Foden or Ilkay Gundogan, the captain? It's going to be Gundogan. He swung in here to the far post to Ake. Rodri had to leave it because he went very early on the run. He was offside. It's a goal kick for Bournemouth, and that is not the best of set pieces from Manchester City there. I have to say, though, Ilkay Gundogan has been pivotal in today's performance. Been brilliant. Julian Alvarez is tying his laces for the 3rd time this game. BBC is giving Foden the assist, says Chris. Well, I certainly don't think it was an assist for Phil Foden. He tries to tap it in, and Zamora just pokes it away from him, straight into the path of Haaland. Rico Lewis, good tackle by Rico Lewis, but Lerma beats Alvarez to it. Solanke. Lewis has got Zamora to deal with here on this right-hand side. Zamora looking for a cross in. Rico Lewis stops the cross. Zamora, a little back heel into Traore. Traore in a left-footed swing in here. Now Akanji with the header away. Falls to Billing at the far post here. Lerma it pulled back to, and Lerma sends it up and over the bar here. Looking to try and hit this with his right foot, Lerma, and try and bend it into the top right or left-hand corner. I'm not sure quite which one. If you're a City fan and you remember Yaya Touré's goal against Sunderland in the League Cup final, I think that's sort of what Lerma's trying to do there. But under a little bit more pressure, and with nowhere near the same technique and quality that Yaya Touré had, and he sends it right into the stands. Oh, bad header by Alvarez, straight to Bournemouth. Chris Mepham, Grealish getting back for his side. Lerma, good tackle by Julian Alvarez, helping out his team defensively into Rico Lewis, who bursts into space. Rico Lewis from behind the tackling, but they get the ball, says the referee, Paul Tierney. And then Rodri goes and wins it back, and so does Ilkay Gundogan. Rodri, outright to Julian Alvarez. Alvarez looks long, bounces off Zamora. Alvarez got a bit of defending to do now. Zamora all over him. Alvarez, good first touch. And into Akanji. Well done, Julian Alvarez. Composed there. Playing in the right back position now, Julian Alvarez. Pep Guardiola's really taken on this sort of Johan Cruyff idea that any player can play in any position. I've been to 2 places where I've learnt quite a bit about Johan Cruyff. The 2 places he's most famous at. I've been to the Ajax Johan Cruyff Arena and went round their museum and tour of the stadium, and you know, a lot of that is based around the you know, very, very popular and icon around football. But, you know, he changed the idea of football, maybe the total football in Johan Cruyff. And I also went to the Camp Nou with Barcelona. And they have got also a section in their museum just on Johan Cruyff as well. And Pep Guardiola, a disciple, you could say, of Johan Cruyff, I suppose. Played under him and learnt under him. Diaz goes back to Ederson here. Back to Diaz from Ederson. Diaz looking to try and find a City player. He's played a lot of forward passes today, Diaz. I have to say, we've missed him playing in the City team. Grealish can't really control it. Still somehow keeps it. But flicks it back to Bournemouth. And Bournemouth get the ball back. Lerma. Oh, it's an interesting pass by Senesi. Rico Lewis beats Zamora to it. And it's going to be a free kick to Bournemouth here. Rico Lewis with a foul. He sort of stuck his leg out and pulled out the challenge, Rico Lewis. And the referee gives a free kick, but Zamora's still down. Holding the knee here. I think he'll be okay here, Zamora, but he's making the most of this one. He's the young man, but I think he'll be totally fine. Gary O'Neill. Got a lot to think about, the Bournemouth manager, hasn't he? Side 2-0 down to Manchester City, and you might think you can nick a goal, but 2's a little bit of a different game, isn't it? I suppose if City score a third, then they will be in trouble. Ball forward here. Grealish wins the header. And a second time, Grealish heads it into Ilkay Gundogan. Back into Grealish. Jack Grealish from Manchester City. Haaland's making a run here. Grealish going to play Haaland, is he? Grealish in behind to Haaland. Great pass by Grealish into the path of Erling Haaland. Haaland. Back to Rodri. Rodri out to Rico Lewis. Not the best of passes into Rico Lewis. He can't take it past Traore. A foul by Lewis on Traore. He pulls Traore back, stops him getting back up on his feet. Solanke tries to run Manuel Akanji. He's past Akanji. Akanji with him. Good tackle by Akanji. It's a corner. But the pass by Rodri into Rico Lewis wasn't fantastic. He sort of passed it to him right on top of a Bournemouth player. And it meant that Lewis would have to skip past the Bournemouth player. With a really, really impressive first touch. He didn't pull it off. But Bournemouth get a corner now. And this is where Bournemouth will be trying themselves, won't they? This is where they think they might get their chances from, Bournemouth, on these set pieces. Stevens in there. Senesi in there. Chris is Lewis and Akanji, the weak link so far. Crossing by Bournemouth to the far post here. Lerma back in there. Chance for Stevens. Ake defends it. Still back in there and Haaland away. That's a very good chance. They wanted handball against Nathan Ake. They said no. Lump back forward by Smith into the box here. Ake can't control it and Akanji lumps it away. Taken down by Grealish. I think with Rico Lewis. Oh, City have got to counter it. Haaland. Haaland wide to Phil Foden. Options for City. Foden. Tried to beat Zamora. Foden. Oh, and he's lost it here. Zamora tackled by Traore. A lovely bit of skill by him to get away from Phil Foden. I think with Lewis and Akanji, because they're both pushing so far forward in that right-hand side, it's making it difficult. Actually, Diaz has gone out towards the right-hand side to help Lewis out a little bit and put Akanji in the centre of the defence. Bournemouth a chance here. Pulled back! And headed over the bar by Ruben Diaz. The shot was going in from Adam Smith, perhaps. Edison would have to be called into action to make a save. But Ruben Diaz heads it over the bar. Well, Smith plays one in behind here. To Qatar, who's onside. He pulls it back to Adam Smith, who's in acres of space on the edge of the box. He runs into the box, has a shot, tries to bend it to the far right hand post. And Ruben Diaz, great defending, throws his head at it, heads it over the bar. They're behind for another corner for Bournemouth here in the 37th minute. Bournemouth looked very dangerous in the last corner. I have a sense they're going to be dangerous here again. Corner to be taken here. Swung in by Bournemouth. Drilled in towards Jefferson Lerma, who heads it to the far post to Stevens, who just keeps it in here. Stevens looking for a pass. In behind Grealish. Zamora looking for a cross. Defended well by Gundogan. Cross in here. Haaland misses the header. Bournemouth at the far post. Foot fired in. Edison touches it behind for a corner. Cross by Traore. Tries to hit it across Edison. Edison just gets his palms on it. Can't catch it. I mean, it was very difficult. Ooh, Solanke got a header wrong there, but Haaland just nearly made a mess of it. It was going out, the shot by Traore. I think it was going to hit the post. Bournemouth goes short this time on the corner. Philip Billing. Left-footed strike from range. Edison does well. Don't know if that's a crossing or a shot by Billing, but it bounces just in front of Edison. But safe hands from the Brazilian. He manages to catch it for City there. I mean, if he spills that Edison, there's two Bournemouth players ready to tap it in. Foden. Back to Lewis. Rodri. Back to Ruben Diaz. Diaz brings it forward for City into Nathan Ake. Back to Diaz. Akanji. Right to Phil Foden. First time ball up and over the top by Foden to Haaland, who's got a little physical battle to deal with here. Alvarez throwing his body in there as well. Bournemouth are making a meal of it. They want a foul from Haaland, but they're not going to get one for that. There was nothing in it. Falls to Ilkay Gundogan. Wide left to Jack Grealish, who started 9 games in a row now for Manchester City. Only Haaland and Rodri have started more in a row. That shows how pivotal he is for Pep Guardiola at the moment. Manuel Akanji. Wide to Foden. Foden back into Akanji. Diaz. Rodri. Ilkay Gundogan. Nice first touch by Gundogan. Wide to Phil Foden. It's a really heavy pass by Ilkay Gundogan, who seems to be frustrated at Foden for not controlling it, but Gundogan absolutely fires it at him then. When Billing played for Huddersfield, he was known for his accurate long-range power shooting from range, as well as being 7'9". I remember Billing at Huddersfield, Chris, and actually, I think before Huddersfield even got promoted to the Premier League, they played City in a cup game at the Etihad. I was there. They still had Harry Bunn up top, starting striker for them at that time, and Harry Bunn came through City's youth system, and Billing in that game was really impressive. And of course, I mean, the fact that he's absolutely massive, like you said, 7'9", he did really stand out. And he scored quite a lot of screamers, hasn't he, for Huddersfield, and I think for Bournemouth as well. So that's something I'm sure City will have looked at before this game. And I mean, if he shoots on target from range, Ederson's not one to make a save from range, is he? We've seen quite a few go in, so that is a worrying part to Billing's game that could be cause problems for City. Ake, Rodri, Diaz, Gundogan, good play by City. Akanji, Gundogan. Ilkay Gundogan here, he's got Rico Lewis to pass to, but he goes wide right to Phil Foden. Lewis makes a running behind here. Gives Foden a bit more space to come inside that left foot. Akanji, Rodri. Grealish making a run as well. Rodri into Rico Lewis. Good movement from Lewis here. Rico, Foden. Phil Foden for City. Back he goes to Akanji. Into Foden again. Foden goes back to Akanji once more. City trying to break down this Bournemouth side, but it's not so easy. Diaz, Rodri. Good touch under pressure from Philip Billing, but City, they back themselves, don't they, under pressure? These players in the ball. Grealish here. Good play by Grealish into Rico Lewis. Nice touch by Rico. City drive away now. Lewis wide to Phil Foden. It's wide right. Foden. Lewis makes a run. Foden goes into the channel. Foden across the box. It's the far post to Haaland. Alvarez with a header. And Alvarez his header into the hands of Neto. Headed it into the ground. Good play from City though again. Nice skill by Foden. I think he was trying to lift it to the near post to Haaland. Alvarez got the header down. It went to the far post instead. I think if Alvarez heads that across to Haaland, it's 3-0 City. I genuinely do. But he's a striker and you expect him to go for goal there. I think Haaland would probably go for goal there. Rodri. I think Haaland and Alvarez have a real good connection with each other. I really do. I think they respect each other as strikers. Respect each other as players. And that seems to work really well. Nathan Ake. Into Ilkay Gundogan. Round the corner to Rodri. Back into Jack Grealish. I want to see more from Grealish at the moment this left-hand side. Gundogan turned away from the pass there, thinking that he'd already got the ball. Or Grealish had kept it. Chance here for Senesi. In behind the City defence. Senesi. Ball into Solanke. It's a great pass. What a turn by Solanke. And Rico Lewis gets it away. What a nice initial turn by Solanke. Haaland down to Gundogan. He's got to release the ball here, Gundogan. Dribbles away from 2 or 3 challenges. Gundogan. Ball out wide to Julian Alvarez. It's a bad one by Gundogan over here. It's out for a throw into Bournemouth. Unlucky though, Ilkay Gundogan there. Had to release the ball quicker. Went for the difficult pass, but Solanke here, ball played into the edge of the box. Akanji goes in for a challenge, Ruben Diaz as well. And Solanke just rolls the ball, spins them both. But what Ruben Diaz does spectacularly well, he just gets a nick on the roll of the ball. And that means Solanke has to chase the pass, or chase the little move that he's done. And Rico Lewis is there to lump it away. Crucial from Diaz, but Akanji selling himself there. Lerma. Looking to go forward, our Bournemouth. Senesi. Into Lerma, in behind to, he's Traore in behind to Zamora. He's beaten to it by Rico Lewis, who turns on Zamora. Uses his body really well here, Rico Lewis. Lewis being kicked and kicked and kicked by Zamora, and he wins a free kick. Brilliant by Rico Lewis. He's very experienced, it feels like. For an 18-year-old, he understands, where to put his body, get his body in the way, win a free kick. Very clever. He's very clever, isn't he? Rico Lewis. I think that is something that Pep Guardiola really admires, intelligence in a footballer. And if you think City have got a team of very intelligent footballers, tactically astute, and you've seen that from Rico Lewis there. And like Pep Guardiola always says, that Rico Lewis, even if Rico Lewis, sometimes, like Chris has pointed out, Rico Lewis might be the weak point in City's back line at times, and in City's team. But Pep Guardiola does say that Rico Lewis makes the other players play better. And if you're carrying a bit of a player, but they make everyone else play better, that's not too bad, is it? Diaz. Ake. I think Rico Lewis has certainly done better than Kyle Walker's done. On the ball. On the ball, 100%. Akanji. Back to Ederson. Ederson for City. Out to the wide right here by Ederson. Good pass into Jack Grealish. Nice first touch. I'll tell you what, Grealish's first touch is absolutely spectacular. Ball in behind to Haaland, who nods it on to Grealish here. Grealish up against Senesi, who has to lump it back to Neto. Did well to beat Grealish to it there. If Grealish just been on the front foot a little bit earlier, City would have had more of a chance there to get on that one. Ball forward to Billing on the chest of the big man. Smith. Billing. Good pressing by City. It's across to Phil Foden here. Chance for City. Phil Foden! 3-0 City. Massive mistake by Bournemouth. Philip Billing Goes for a ball back to his goalkeeper, I think. And Phil Foden pounces. Skips past the challenges and puts it in the back of the net. 3-0 City. And the front line has scored for City now in Foden, Alvarez and Haaland. Just waiting for Jack Grealish to get one. But great play there. Massive mistake by Billing here. Playing it out from the back. He gets a ball into him by Neto on the chest. Billing plays it into Smith. Smith goes back to him. Billing's got no option. So City's press just makes Billing play it back. But I don't even know what Billing's done there. He's actually tried to pass it across to Chris Mepham. I don't know why he's going to cross his box to Chris Mepham. It's over here. Foden picks it up. Skips past Mepham. And then Foden looks like he's going to put it to the far left-hand post. He actually puts it on his left foot at the near post. Into the top corner. Yards out. He's slipping as he hits it. Great finish by Foden. 3-0 Manchester City. That is game over for Bournemouth, surely, isn't it? What a performance by City here. What a performance. 1 minute added time. But this game has flown by. And it's flown by with 3 City goals. And City very much in control this game. And I mean, Bournemouth in a relegation battle this season. They're not coming into games against Manchester City and saying, we need to pick up points here. They're coming into these games and saying, well, if we nick something, we'll give it our best shot, aren't they? So I don't think they'll be too disappointed. They certainly won't. I mean, Bournemouth have only conceded 13 goals all season. 12 goals all season at home, the best in the Premier League. Well, that has completely changed now, hasn't it? Completely changed since Manchester City have made a visit to the Vitality Stadium. And that is the half-time whistle gone. City 3, Bournemouth 0. What a game from City so far. Foden, Alvarez and Erling Haaland on the score sheet. Great performance by City. And long may it continue. Brill says MK. That has been a fantastic first half. I mean, 80% of you guys who have voted are right so far. I'll be back very shortly. I'll be back anyway for the second half as I have a little break over half-time. Rest my voice because actually commentary, especially at the moment where we're doing pretty much 2 games a week, all these away games, it's sort of getting to my voice a little bit. So I'm going to go and give it a little bit of a rest over half-time. Do what Mariah Carey does and drink water at room temperature only. I'll tell my staff to get that for me. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll be back for the second half. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. Talk amongst yourselves. Any questions, let us know in the comments down below. Of course, EFL Cup final tomorrow between Newcastle and United as well. That'll be an interesting one, won't it? Come on, Newcastle. I'll be right back after this very short break for the second half.
the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy. But maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. How do you do? Cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. How do you do? Cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. Oh, my darkest memories, now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. You can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. How do you do? Cause I'm feeling so good.
quick to hit ignore. Buku bitches in my bed. I got scales all on my floor. I got money on the line, plus I'm clocking it galore. I got bitches kissing bitches, all them bitches go explore. I'm feeling way up. I stay up. Put your bitch on my Snapchat while I make her. She want a chance with me, cause she know I'm a rapper. I give a but I never get feelings to shorty. I know what you after. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. Get hit in my section at 12, gon' find your ass way in New Orleans. Watch I look, I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my puttin'. Put two in your man if your man keep a looking. Act like a poopy, your bitch get tookin'. I'm not the type to go with them niggas who fuck with them niggas who stay on some fish. Oh, young and trappin' out the bando. From the ceiling fan to the damn floor, tryna stack my money up. Cause that's the only way we can go. Tell my mama that I'm okay. See the money coming through the doorway. Got a bad bitch with a lot of money, that's foreplay. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me.
Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel for the second half of Manchester City versus AFC Bournemouth. City currently with a 3-0 lead away from home at the Vitality Stadium. Goals from an opening goal anyway from Julian Alvarez, then it was Erling Haaland, and then it was Phil Foden to give City a 3-0 lead. Now reports are that currently on the field at half-time, warming up was one Calvin Phillips. So, I mean, surely if he's ever going to get a game for Manchester City, now's his chance. City 3-0 in a Premier League game. Calvin Phillips looks like he will come on for City. Pep Guardiola, apparently according to reports, doesn't trust Calvin Phillips fully yet, but now was the chance to start trusting him. I mean, Rodri desperately needs a rest, doesn't he? Rodri plays every single minute for Manchester City, and that is just too much. So Calvin Phillips warming up, that's a good one. And late tonight, won't be doing a live for that game, but something you can watch. Kickoff at 7:45 in the UK, 7:45. It's Crystal Palace against Liverpool, who were smashed, Liverpool, weren't they, by Real Madrid, 5-2. A Bournemouth fan's been on the field at half-time, kicking a football in the net, and he slipped on his backside. Which is been pretty embarrassing, is it, in front of so many fans in the Premier League. Yeah, Liverpool smashed 5-2 by Real Madrid, I have to say. Imagine if City had just a bit of pace in our team. Just a little bit of pace in our team. You know, someone like a Vinicius Jr. If City had Vinicius Jr., my word, you'd be so scared, wouldn't you? Every team would be so scared. So scared, because as soon as they come onto you, he just flies away. And I mean, Liverpool was so scared of Vinicius Jr. as well. I was scared watching it. I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold had an absolute nightmare, as he tends to against pretty much any decent left winger. But Vinicius Jr. is just one of the top ones. I mean, I remember Fernandinho in the Champions League being absolutely destroyed as well. So it's not like he's the only one to come under just absolute brilliance from Vinicius Jr. But he is one of the top players in the world of football, isn't he? And he's absolutely unbelievable. Karim Benzema as well. He was fantastic, I thought, in that game. He's another one that you just look at and you think, what a player. What an unbelievable player he is. There's just so many, isn't there? There's just so many in that Real Madrid side. Luka Modric, what is he, 37, 38 years of age, and he still plays at that level. Still at that level. is unbelievable. How he's still playing at that level at that age. You just don't expect it, do you? You just don't expect it from a player his age. Most of the time you say, oh, once players get to 33, 34, that's it, they finished. Well, he certainly isn't. He certainly isn't, is he, Luka Modric? He just seems to keep getting better and better. And maybe this is his last season, I don't know, at Real Madrid. Maybe he'll do 2 more, 3 more, 4 more. I think he's probably got it in, hasn't he, his quality? What a player. FIFA Zilla has changed the thumbnail. What to? It's Bournemouth versus Manchester City, no? That's what you're watching? Bournemouth versus Manchester City. I've not lied to anyone there. City versus Bournemouth. So, second half to kick off. Haaland with the ball at his feet. He will take a kick off from the centre circle. Haaland versus Manchester City. And now it is Haaland with Manchester City. He's not against us anymore in the terms of not getting the ball. He's very much a fully fledged member of the team. And today we've looked for him, haven't we? Second half underway here. So no changes for either side apparently at half time. But we are expecting maybe Calvin Phillips to come on for Rodri. I think Pep Guardiola might just give it a bit of time and then decide to do that. Rodri the ball over the top here. Lumped away by Brentford. The thumbnail says Nottingham Forest is FIFA Zilla. Really? Well, that's a mistake I've not seen. Thank you very much for letting me know that. I didn't think it'd say that, but sometimes you just don't. You get things wrong, don't you? Thank you very much for letting me know. Ball by them forward towards Solanke. Lerma. I mean, Bournemouth will come out a different side in the second half, I feel, as they attempt to try and do something. Oh, Ake in there. They wanted a foul City. They don't get one. Here's Qatar. The ball into the box here. Away by Ruben Diaz. They're coming right at City straight away, Bournemouth here. Which is no surprise. A fast start from Bournemouth is what they will be looking for. What they need if they're going to get any chance of winning. Ouattara, a good tackle by City. City throw here. Really tough half-time team talk, I'm sure, from the opposition. 3-0 down. And it's like, what do you do? Well, I don't know why it says Bournemouth. YouTube have done me there. Thanks for letting me know, FIFA Zilla, but I did change the thumbnail. It's just that you know, obviously YouTube wanted to not update the thumbnail for whatever reason. Well, it's funny because on my screen right now it says Bournemouth and Manchester City. So it's different for you, but I went to the main channel then, like you just said, and it also says that. So I don't know why it's so wrong, but we'll try it again. Hopefully it changes for you. But on my screen it says that, but on another screen it doesn't. Interesting. It should say Bournemouth and Manchester City. For some people it might display differently. The foul here by Lerma on Jack Grealish. Ooh, big kick in the leg. It's actually by Qatar. In Jack Grealish's leg. Down he goes. Grealish is not happy with that one. It's going to be a free kick to Manchester City. It was a nasty one, that, actually, wasn't it, on Jack Grealish? Very nasty one on Jack Grealish. Here is Ruben Diaz for Manchester City. Rodri. Into Rico Lewis. Foden. Akanji. Akanji brings the ball forward for City. Back right to Rico Lewis, who goes first time in behind to Phil Foden, into behind to Gundogan here. Gundogan across the box to Haaland. Good defending by them in the end. Alvarez in there to win it back. Alvarez across the box in. Neto away. Foden flicks it back into Zamora. City should have scored there. There's an offside in there, says the referee. Free kick to Bournemouth. 10 minutes later from the linesman. Gundogan gets that across to Haaland. City are 4-0 up, but it's good defending in the end by Stevens. I don't know where the offside is in here from the linesman. There's not a single offside in there. I don't know what the linesman's even put his flag up for, but it's a free kick Bournemouth. Chance to then get back in possession. Ake beats Qatar to it. It's been very physical today, Nathan Ake, as he always is. Really, really made it difficult for their wide man. Jack Grealish on this left-hand side. Grealish. Back to Rodri. Rico Lewis. Rodri. Diaz. Bournemouth are chasing the ball a little bit more here today. Diaz into Ilkay Gundogan. Rodri. Rodri here for City. Wide left to Jack Grealish. Grealish up against Smith. Grealish running at Smith. The Bournemouth fans wanting to get into Grealish, but Grealish keeps going. Lays the edgelocks to Gundogan. Ake. Rodri. Lewis. Diaz. City tried down the left-hand side. They're now going out to that right-hand side with Phil Foden. Foden onto that left foot and back to Akanji. Rodri. Grealish, who's come very narrow here, Grealish. He's picking up the ball in a narrow position. That just means that City have got no one in the far left-hand side. Grealish. Followed by Grealish, out wide to Phil Foden. Good running by Rico Lewis, makes the space. Foden with a clip in here towards Grealish. Headed away by Stevens. Onto the head of Manuel Akanji. Foden. Lewis. Akanji. Well, City have started the second half like they played the first one. In complete control. Intense. Knocking the ball around really well. Diaz. Gundogan. Rodri. Rodri. Little toe poke out to Phil Foden. His far right hand side. Foden. Back to Rico Lewis. Akanji. Into Diaz. City try it down the right hand side again. Bournemouth are very much deeper in the shape. Just trying to make sure this doesn't get embarrassing. In behind to Rico Lewis here. Lewis across the box to Haaland. Good defending by Bournemouth. Foden back in across the box here. Neto punch away. Julian Alvarez! 4-0 Manchester City. And it's the Argentinian Julian Alvarez with his second of the game. It bounced, bobbled through about 3 or 4 Bournemouth players, but it did end up in the back of the net. And City lead by 4 goals to 0 now. Rico Lewis was played in behind down the right-hand channel by Phil Foden. He tries to put it across the box. It's defended away by Bournemouth. But straight back to Phil Foden, who puts another cross in. Hits the goalkeeper, hits Alvarez, who smashes it towards goal. And it might be an own goal, this one. Alvarez's shot's going wide. And it hits Mepham and goes in the back of the net. I think that'll go down as an own goal. I think that'll go down as an own goal for Chris Mepham. Alvarez's shot hits Mepham on the way through. But 4-0 Manchester City here. The Vitality Stadium. And I think Ashton before the game predicted a 7-0 win. Well, Ashton might not be far off here at this rate. Could City get 7 here today? Zamora plays it out. So throw in for Manchester City. Rico Lewis to take it. And Sergio Gomez is coming on for Manchester City, it seems. And I think also we could see Calvin Phillips coming on for City today. Diaz. Akanji. Back to Diaz. Cross to Nathan Ake. Jack Grealish on this left-hand side. Grealish. Gomez for his first chance in what has been since, I think, the Southampton game. He played in that defeat in the Carabao Cup where he was incredibly poor. And Calvin Phillips is also going to come on. So I expect it maybe will be Rodri and Rico Lewis to make changes here for City. Though the predicted changes. We'll have to see. Ruben Diaz for Manchester City. Into Nathan Ake. Space for Grealish. Ake goes in behind to Grealish. He had to go in the middle to him. And Bournemouth, Qatar has to keep it in. Ake, a tackle on Smith. Great win back. Great pressing by Nathan Ake, who slips and then he gets back up to his feet swiftly. And retains possession for Manchester City into Ruben Diaz. So Phillips and Gomez, the 2 City substitutions. I think City's performance level might just drop off with those 2 coming on. Akanji, Lewis. Gundogan. Akanji. Alvarez, Akanji again. Ilkay Gundogan. Rodri. Into Gundogan. Wide right to Phil Foden. Good pass by Gundogan. Foden keeps it in despite the fizz on it. Akanji. Foden again. Rico. Lovely little turn by Rico Lewis and into Alvarez. Brilliant by City. Alvarez can't put it through to Rico Lewis, but what a little turn. Then Alvarez goes and wins it back off Solanke. Energy. Alvarez in behind to Phil Foden. Foden keeps it in here. Great play by Alvarez. What a player. What a player. Need to start him more alongside Haaland. Akanji, Lewis, Akanji. Rico Lewis has been fantastic. Akanji behind it to Gundogan. Gundogan, great touch. Into Haaland. Flicked away by Zamora. Rodri down to Nathan Ake. And City just continue here. Diaz, Rodri, Gundogan, Lewis. Under pressure here. Runs into trouble, Lewis here against Traore. It's a foul that goes Bournemouth's way. That's Rico Lewis' 3rd or 4th foul of the game here. He's not been yellow carded yet by Paul Tierney. He's got a nat Rico Lewis just to make it look like he hasn't made a foul, and it was just a 50-50. He's very good at that. So the first for City substitution is Rodri. Off comes Rodri for Calvin Phillips, and I think it's going to be Captain Ilkay Gundogan off for Sergio Gomez. So does Phil Foden move into the middle? Does Sergio Gomez play in the central role? Does Jack Grealish move into the middle here for City? We'll have to see. So Rodri and Gundogan off, Gomez and Phillips on. Those are the two changes for Manchester City. So is Gomez going to play in the middle? Is he going to play on the left-hand side? He's going to play at full-back. Where is Gomez going to play? I'll let you know as soon as we can tell. I think Sergio Gomez is going to play in the central midfield for Manchester City. He is. He's going to go into the Ilkay Gundogan role. So Sergio Gomez, no longer a left-back, now an attacking midfielder. That's sort of his natural position. Chris Mepham goes back to the goalkeeper. I think Pep Guardiola's realised that Gomez is more of an attacking midfielder and not a full-back. Ball forward here. Foden. Alvarez. Great work by Alvarez. And he actually wins the ball back for City on the byline and sends it back to Edison. I mean, he's got to play more often, Alvarez, hasn't he? He's got to play more often now. I think this is clear as anything, the quality he does bring to the City side. Diaz. Phillips. Ake. Grealish. Back to Nathan Ake. And into Diaz. Well, City's shape is just the same. It's two straight swaps, really. Gomez on for Gundogan in his position. Akanji behind here. Alvarez can't control it. And Haaland can't get the end of that one. And straight through to the goalkeeper, Neto. Neto's asking his team to go forward here. He wants to play it for the Brazilian. In the end, he's going to end up rolling out to his player. I think he's got to play it forward and trying to get at City. Solanke intercepted by Phillips. Well played, Calvin Phillips. Immediately involved. Diaz. Foden. Akanji. Foden. Gomez. Foden. Diaz. I mean, you can tell by the rate at which I'm saying these names, City are knocking it around brilliantly. Here's Phil Foden. And what I like about City now is, say Foden's on the right-hand side and Rico Lewis is supporting him, City can easily take it the other way. Foden's gone inside and Rico Lewis has gone out to the right. You know, we're very, very fluid in our formation. Good interception by Phillips, who slips and gives it back to Bournemouth. Katara. Chance here for Bournemouth from the far left-hand side with Zamora. Flicked it in behind to Traore. Akanji across. Traore looking for a cross in here. Good crossing. Good defending by Calvin Phillips. In the box and stops Bournemouth from scoring there. They had to tap him. Alvarez. Into Foden. Given away again by City. A little bit sloppy. Last 3 minutes since the substitutions came on. Bournemouth look for Billing. They find Philip Billing. Great ball through to Zamora. And Zamora had Akanji breathing down his neck. Couldn't control it under the pressure. And it bobbles through and rolls into the hands of goalkeeper Edison. Edison on the ball for City. Kevin De Bruyne. He's warming up. So is Riyad Mahrez. And so is Bernardo Silva. City could yet make 3 more substitutions. Ball forward here. Grealish in the chest. Pushing the back by Smith. Grealish just rides the challenges brilliantly. Grealish skips past another challenge. Then he's snapped by Mepham. And it's a yellow card for the Welshman. Grealish beats 3 or 4 challenges. And then Mepham just kicks the legs from underneath him. No intention to play the ball, Chris Mepham. Well, it's a cynical one from Mepham. He knew exactly what he was doing. Takes Grealish down. Makes sure Grealish goes nowhere. So a double substitution as well for Bournemouth now. Ryan Fredericks, ex-West Ham man, is about to make his way onto the field. So here are the substitutions. It is Smith off for Fredericks. And Philip Billing, who got an assist maybe from the goal. He has got an assist in this game for City. Setting up Phil Foden. He is off. And on comes Joe Rothwell in the midfield for Bournemouth. So a double change for them. I suppose it's a chance to get a bit of fitness in the legs of some other players. Try and prove themselves, just to show themselves. It also freshens up this Bournemouth side. Phillips into Ake. Diaz slips as he tries to play the pass over top to Haaland. Mepham heads it away. Phillips back down into Haaland. Who gets there? Haaland. There's a chance here for City. Haaland, and he's tackled by Mepham. Should have done better there, Haaland. Ball in behind Diaz, who gets there ahead of Solanke brilliantly. Ake with a poor pass into Calvin Phillips, and Bournemouth look to make a counter happen, but they can't do. Intercepted by Ruben Diaz. Diaz drives forward. Sergio Gomez to Manchester City. Wide left to Jack Grealish. Grealish still. Back into Gomez. Will he cross this? Gomez first time crossing to Haaland. It's over everyone. Bournemouth head it away. Phil Foden at the far post. Foden. Alvarez back to Foden. Foden into Alvarez. Knocked away. Nathan Ake! Fell to Nathan Ake's boot. I thought he was about to leather that in the top corner. Into the hands of the goalkeeper. What an attempt by Nathan Ake. Akanji with an absolute shocking header. Phillips can't beat Zamora to it. Phillips fouls Zamora. Skips away from Phillips. It's a bad header by Akanji. Zamora here. Looks to skip past Akanji. Just uses his body and his strength really well. Puts it behind for a goal kick. But I think Akanji there is a really poor header. Calvin Phillips gets a yellow card for a tackle while they were countering there. Yellow card for Calvin Phillips for his first tackle of the game. That's a very harsh one on Calvin Phillips. He stuck his leg out to make the challenge. He didn't do. Zamora's kept on his feet and carried on going. I can't believe he's booked Phillips for that. That seemed very strange from the referee. I think the fans were on him and he felt like he had to give the Bournemouth fans something. Oh, brilliant play by Phil Foden. Flicks it into Julian Alvarez here down the right side. Alvarez to the far post to Haaland. Great block by Bournemouth. Haaland knew it's going to fall to his feet there. He was going towards the far post to Erling Haaland. Haaland appreciates the effort. Just come off the Bournemouth player. And it's a corner to Manchester City here. City looking to make it 5, 6, 7. Phil Foden, not Phil Foden, Calvin Phillips is still having a bit of a word with the referee over his yellow card, which he found incredibly harsh after his first tackle of the game. So goals conceded from set piece this season, most have come from Bournemouth, 13. Foden swings one in. Ake in there, and Ake, who's an ex-Bournemouth man, of course. I did forget that, actually. Ake playing against his former side. Headed up and over the bar by Nathan Ake. And it's a goal kick for Bournemouth. Would Ake celebrate a goal against Bournemouth? I don't know. Maybe not. Well, Alvarez... Apparently, Alvarez's goal has been given. It's not going to be an own goal. I don't know. I think Alvarez gets the goal. It's not a Mepham own goal. I'm not quite sure. I thought it was going wide, but they're not quite sure yet. Gomez tackles Lerma. Phillips in there. Phillips flicks it into Erling Haaland, whose eyes light up, and Haaland passes it and takes it around the defender. Foden. Alvarez on the left foot. Blocked away by Bournemouth. I think he should have pulled off a better shot there, Julian. Maybe should have gone with the right foot. Here's Traore. Ball forward to Solanke. Akanji with a big tackle. He's getting a yellow card for that one, Akanji. He walks away with his head down, Manuel Akanji, because he knows for definite a yellow card's coming his way. Flies in for a tackle here, completely misses the ball and smashes Dominic Solanke. It's a big one by Akanji, big tackle. And he gets a yellow card. Lanky, a member here of the We Are City membership club. To quote the greatest of all time, what's up? Well, welcome, Lanky. Have you been watching the City FC career mode as a member? I hope you have. I hope you enjoyed the first episode. Next episode comes on Monday, and then Wednesday, and then Friday. Diaz wins a header on the attack here from Bournemouth. Jack Grealish. Running at Bournemouth here. Grealish, look at Foden making a run. Grealish the ball in behind to Foden. What a ball! It's a Phil Foden. Big tackle on him by Mepham on a yellow card. Have to be careful. Lanky loved the first episode, but there's plenty more to come, Lanky. It's going to be a long season, or a long series. I think maybe 5 series, just like the City one. As we look to just win a trophy, I think, with the team. I think to win the Champions League might be a little bit too far, Lanky, to be honest with you. But you never know. You never know. We're starting in League 1, so there's a long way to go for us. Diaz with a header forward for Manchester City, and it's behind for a throw into Bournemouth. Will City make another substitution here? Doesn't look like it. Maybe Kevin De Bruyne getting back to match sharpness will come in. But City been very dominant. Second half, City have had 4 shots, 1 on target. Bournemouth yet to have a single shot on target in the second half, or a single shot on goal anyway. 72% possession, and Lerma's lost it in front of his own box here nearly. Missed control. And this leads to City's press. Neto. Lump it away. Katara. Zamora out to this left-hand side. Zamora into Katara again. who's come narrow now under pressure from Alvarez. Flicks off Calvin Phillips. And they've got a chance here, Bournemouth. Katara here. Oh, good defending by Sergio Gomez. Gets back. Traore, there's a nice little flick round Rico Lewis's feet. Lewis can't block the cross. Does take a deflection off him though, and Diaz lumps it away up to Alvarez. And Alvarez actually keeps that one in, but can't take it away from Senesi. Alvarez little push on Senesi. Ball through to Solanke here. Chance of Bournemouth. Rico Lewis with a good recovery challenge. Then he's pulled by the Bournemouth man Solanke as he tries to clear it for a throw-in. Referee says no, and it's a goal kick. It's a corner for Bournemouth here. Rico Lewis, great pace, makes the tackle, and then Solanke pulls Rico Lewis down so he can't clear it away. Well played, Rico Lewis. Fantastic from him again. Crossing by Bournemouth, high, and lofted, and Lewin with a header. Bournemouth a chance here. Solanke. Handball in the box, they say. Pulls it back out, shot from range, blocked away again. How Bournemouth not scored there? Here's Traore. Against Alvarez, beats him, cross in. Haaland can't win the header and Traore heads it out for a goal kick. Well, Bournemouth want a penalty. VAR will check it. There was about 6 players in the box here and they're just trying to kick the ball in. Diaz is on the ground, it's just being lumped at Calvin Phillips. I don't think it touched his hand. It doesn't touch Calvin Phillips' hands. Phillips has got his arms and legs like sort of... He's doing desperately to get them out of his way, his hands, Phillips. It's not a penalty. He didn't touch your hand. I don't think the Bournemouth fans really saw it because there was just that many players in there. There's no chance. Ederson plays it short to Diaz. And back to goalkeeper Ederson. Long by the Brazilian. Forward. Haaland tries to head it. Heads it back into a Bournemouth path with Phillips and Rico Lewis picks it up. Lewis into Haaland who's on the floor. Haaland quickly gets back to his feet. Haaland under pressure from Quatara. Haaland, good turn away from him. Sergio Gomez. There were 12 handballs, 9 offsides and 13 fouls in there. There was that many players, wasn't there? Just lumping at each other, trying to get a shot off. And if the ref give anything, he wouldn't have a clue because you couldn't even see what was going on. I was thinking earlier today and wondering if Laporte was good enough anymore to swap for Guardiola. Well, Laporte wouldn't go to RB Leipzig, I can tell you now. There's no way Laporte would move to Germany with RB Leipzig. He might go to Bayern Munich. But I think Laporte's going to Barcelona, possibly. I think they've got a little bit of problem with playing, Marcus Alonso at centre-back. So Laporte, 65 million. I think they might just do that. City would probably entertain that with Barcelona. I think him, Bernardo Silva, Ilkay Gundogan, they're going, aren't they, really? They're going to be the 3 big departures from City. Diaz. Akanji. Foden. Oh, lovely flicking behind here to Sergio Gomez. Get going. Gomez. Back into Foden. He actually played it at Rico Lewis there, Gomez. That's poor by him. Here's Traore. Into Zamora, the fullback. Zamora skips into midfield here. Phillips steps out to him. Zamora, great passing towards Ryan Fredericks, looking to take on Jack Grealish. Great tackle by Grealish. And then pass it to Nathan Ake. Well played, Jack Grealish. Another absolutely brilliant player. Grealish been fantastic. Grealish. Flicks it into Phillips, who's half asleep here. Gives it straight back to Bournemouth. Fredericks. Quatara, and a good tackle by Phillips here. But Phillips is asleep there. Grealish found the pass to him. And he wasn't paying attention. Lerma. That's my issue with Calvin Phillips. He seems to switch off quite a lot. From what I've seen. He seems to be someone who switches off and plays in the moments where the ball's in and around him. I mean, he was fantastic for England in that Euro run, wasn't he? We've not seen that Calvin Phillips for a long time. Senesi. Under pressure is Rothwell. Goes back into Bournemouth player. Haaland can't win it. Haaland trying to win it for City, but good burst forward from Rothwell in the midfield. Traore. Lerma. And they give it back to City with Gomez. Haaland. Haaland here, back to Rico Lewis, and City starts again. And Bournemouth, I have to say, are very bad. I think they're certain to be going down. Bournemouth, they're probably one of the favourites to go down. I think Leeds United would go down as well, and that's only because they've got Javi Gracia, who I do not rate as a manager. And who's the other one? Everton won't go down. There's another one I expect to go down as well. I can't even remember who's down there. But they're going down as well. The other team that's obvious to go down is going down, whoever that is. Senesi into Lerma. Big question, is garlic dip acceptable from Domino's, says Lanky. I'll be honest with you, Lanky, I don't like the garlic dip from Domino's. It's like water. Okay, can't make a challenge here, crossing into the hands of Edison. I don't like the garlic dip from Southampton, that's the one, Lanky. Forgot the name. I don't like Southampton, so I'm glad they're going down. But yeah, the garlic dip certainly isn't acceptable. I always give it to my partner every time me and her have a Domino's. I just give it her. I don't like it at all. It's like water. She absolutely loves it though. So, you know, there you see the difference between two people. That is the big question when you meet someone. Do you like garlic dip from Domino's or not, isn't it? Jack Grealish down the left-hand side for City here. Bournemouth's next 6 fixtures are Arsenal, Liverpool. Well, next 3, Arsenal, Liverpool and Villa. That's a big run-in for them, the next 3 games. Diaz for City. Diaz runs into midfield for City. Bournemouth yet to close him down. Out to Akanji. City are going to be making 2 substitutions, maybe 3. Riyad Mahrez and Kevin De Bruyne will be coming on. Phillips. Diaz. Again, Diaz goes into the midfield. Into Rico Lewis. Rico. Wide to Foden. Lewis offers a passing option. Foden goes back to Akanji. Diaz again. Diaz. Phillips. Diaz. Back into Gomez. Him, little 1-2 with Phillips here. Gomez again and wide to Rico Lewis, and City create space in this far right side. And Rico Lewis drives the opposition. A ball in behind to Foden. Foden does get there. He pulls it back, but the pass from Lewis was just a little bit too heavy. Bournemouth clear it away. Quattara tackled by Ake. Grealish gets past a few challenges in the box. Can't keep going. Oh, and Bournemouth get a foul there because Haaland just sort of dangles his leg out by mistake in the Bournemouth man. And he all smiles from Erling Haaland. Substitution for Manchester City. The number 10, Riyad Mahrez, is coming off. And guess who's coming on for Manchester City? It is Maximo Perrone. Debut for the little Argentinian here, midfielder. Mahrez on for Jack Grealish. I'm sure Foden will go to the left-hand side, Mahrez to the right-hand side. Chris can recommend the nachos, one of his sides from Domino's. I've never had the nachos from Domino's. The only thing I don't like about Domino's is I always have to get one of the deals, because who's paying £20 for a pizza? I just don't get it. So I always go for the sort of cheaper options, and I go for a pizza and a garlic bread. But if they offer the nachos in that deal, I would have got it. But I don't think they ever have. Well, Haaland's come off as well for Manchester City here. He's got his goal, and he's rested now for the next game. Haaland off, and Maximo Perrone on. That is brilliant to see that he's getting game time for Manchester City. Number 32. He's an Argentinian who is a big fan of one Carlos Tevez, hence why he wears the number 32. And I hope he's brilliant. Chris is looking forward to seeing Maximo Perrone. I think we all are, aren't we, really? He looks a really exciting young player, 18 years of age. And whenever City pick up a player like that, you always are excited to see him. Although, I just want to say, another player we signed that was exciting and young was Sergio Gomez, and he was terrible. Tackle here on Rico Lewis, who keeps it, then plays it wide to Mahrez, who misreads that. It's behind. Haaland here. He's getting talking to by the Bournemouth fans as he walks round, because they've made him go off the other side of the pitch. Lanky likes pineapple on a pizza. That's another pretty big one, isn't it? Pineapple on a pizza, Lanky. Many people say, is that right? Here's Maximo Perrone. He plays it out wide to Nathan Ake. Ake into Phil Foden, into Maximo Perrone here. Misses it. Sergio Gomez! Strike, deflects, and up and over the bar for a corner for City. I think you're rather hungry, says Lanky MK, yeah. I think that comes down to you just hungry. Gomez for the strike here. It takes a flick off Mepham. And over the bar for a corner for City. Thought Gomez was scoring there. I think he thought he was as well. Corner for Manchester City. Calvin Phillips, Nathan Ake, Ruben Diaz. Manuel Akanji in there. Riyad Mahrez to take it. Swung in by Mahrez. Diaz flicks it on with a little back heel here, and it's behind for another corner. Lanky's got a Domino's currently. That makes all the sense, Lanky. Don't make us all jealous now. Another corner for City. Mahrez to take it. I think Bournemouth are about to make another change. Who's going to come on? I think it could be Anthony is his name. Mahrez here. Mahrez, great play. Back to Calvin Phillips, who misses the shot. Scuffs it into the path of Bournemouth. And they clear it away. Back to Rico Lewis. Lewis. Out to Mahrez again on this right-hand side. Riyad Mahrez. In-swinger by Mahrez. The far post towards Ruben Diaz. Picked up by goalkeeper Neto. And Bournemouth counter through Rothwell now. City haven't kept a clean sheet in a long time, so I think that is going to be something on their mind right now. Quattara. Fredericks. Lerma. Back into Chris Mepham. Stevens. I think City have taken the foot off the gas a little bit and taken the likes of Haaland and Jack Grealish off. Just gives them a bit of a rest, doesn't it? The City when he's top, perfect topping, says Lanky. That is quite right, isn't it? Fredericks wants Quattara to come close. He does eventually. Lets it run away from Nathan Ake, who's just a bit stronger than him. Quattara then's got Akanji waiting behind him. And City are back in possession. Calvin Phillips for City. Phillips. Rico Lewis. Lewis on the ball here. Looking for options. Goes wide right to Riyad Mahrez. Back to Akanji. A bit of an under it pass. And he's back to Diaz, who has to just lump it to the far side of the field. Phil Foden goes and wins the header. And Bournemouth win it back. Phillips in there. Does not even touch the Bournemouth play. It's a free kick. Trying to get Calvin Phillips sent off, it feels like, the Bournemouth players. And a substitution here for Bournemouth. So off comes Traore, Hamad Traore, signed from Sassuolo. And on comes Jadon Anthony, number 32. I mean, Bournemouth haven't really changed their position, have they, at all? Lanky says, any film recommendations? I could make plenty, Lanky. What sort of films are you into? That's the first one. If you let us know what films you like, I can definitely recommend one for your genre. Here's Lerma. Under pressure from Maximo Perrone. Anthony. Perrone across. Rico Lewis intercepts behind for a throw into Bournemouth. I think Maximo Perrone might get a bit of game time against Bristol City as well on Tuesday. If he's playing here today. If City are in the lead by quite a few goals. Bournemouth go back here all the way to Stevens. Pressing by Phil Foden. Gives Bournemouth not many options. He has to go to goalkeeper Neto. Stevens. Ball forward by him. Oh, good play. The press of City's been caught out a little bit here. Here's Anthony. Sprinting at the City defence. Rico Lewis got 2 to mark. Zamora. Good tackle by Akanji into Maximo Perrone. Down to Akanji. Akanji still. Should have passed it here. He doesn't do. Mahrez. Under pressure here, Mahrez. And City playing with it down the byline. Rico Lewis into Calvin Phillips. Phillips. Turns into Rico Lewis, who sends it long and forward. Bournemouth back into the danger area. Phillips wins it again. It's going to be a corner here for Manchester City. Solanke is trying to get Phillips sent off here. Pretending that Phillips has fouled him when he hadn't done. Anything that keeps you on the edge. Doesn't matter. You like stuff that keeps you on the edge. Ooh. You want a high tension film. These are cute. Have you ever seen Drive, Lanky? Certainly kept me on the edge. But I don't know if you've seen Drive. One of the best films I've seen, Drive, actually. Unexpected moments. Very interesting. Action. Violence. If you like that sort of thing. Good storyline. Romance. Ryan Gosling. Quite right, Lanky. Good film. Here is Ake. Phillips. Back to Ake. It's a bad pass by Phillips. Pushes Ake wide. Foden. Sergio Gomez into Rothwell behind for a throw into Manchester City. Nathan Ake. Into Diaz. Diaz has got Rico Lewis ahead of him. To the right. Lay off to Phillips instead. Calvin Phillips. Diaz. I don't think Phillips has looked so good so far here today, but a long time to go. Good find to Sergio Gomez, who can turn here. And he runs to the opposition Gomez. Wide to Phil Foden, his left-hand side. Foden. Into Ake. It's a bit of an over-hit one. Falls to Calvin Phillips, who goes back to Phil Foden, who's surely offside. Linesman flag stays down. Gomez. Amazing film. I love the Real Heroes song at the end. Says Lanky, yeah, what a film it is, Drive. Whenever anyone says watch a film, I tend to say Drive. Nathan Ake. Phil Foden. Perrone. Ake. Back into Maximo Perrone here. Perrone across the box. Defended well by Bournemouth behind for a corner. Do you like world cinema, Lanky? Because there's plenty. If you've ever seen the film Invisible Guest, I think it's on Netflix. Watch that. It's a Spanish film. You don't have to learn the language to watch it, these subtitles, but it's brilliant. Substitution for Manchester City now. Nathan Ake is set to come off. And he's replaced by City's number 2, Kyle Walker. He will step on the field today for the last 10 minutes or so. 79 minutes of football has been played here at the Vitality Stadium. Round of applause from both the City and Bournemouth fans here for Nathan Ake. A well-respected player all around. And he actually, you know, his move to Manchester City paid off Bournemouth's £71 million worth of debt. What a performance from Ake. Been so good. So, on comes Kyle Walker. For just 10 minutes of football in the Premier League for Walker. Crossing by Phil Foden. Diaz in there, falls to Rico Lewis on the edge of the box. Shot, blocked. Lewis again, blocked. Diaz back out to Foden. Fired in by Foden to the far post. Alvarez can't get there. It's a bad pullback by Foden, actually, bad cross. Nice applause for Ake, says Christie. Yeah, it's nice to see, isn't it? And the Bournemouth fans really do respect him and thank him for what he did for the club. Mahrez flicks into Walker. Back to Mahrez. Maximo Perrone here. 18 years of age and playing Premier League football just like Rico Lewis. Here is Phillips. Gomez. Across to Walker. Mahrez. All the way back to Akanji. Gomez. Walker. Rico Lewis has gone to sort of left back now. Walker's pass is deflected. It falls to Lerma. Skips past Phillips as the ball into Rothwell. Rothwell wide to Anthony. Up against Walker in a one-on-one situation. Doesn't back himself to take him on. Goes into Zamora. Anthony. He goes back to Senesi. Lerma. Senesi. Lerma. Bournemouth trying to create a chance. Nice little spin by Lerma. Has to go back to Senesi, however. And they go all the way back to Rothwell. They're going to go back to the keeper, are they, Bournemouth? No, back to Chris Mepham. Looking to play the ball forward. Stevens. City are pressing the goalkeeper as well. They're forcing Bournemouth right back to the goalkeeper. Alvarez is still going here in the 81st minute. Still pressing. Still working hard. Away by Bournemouth. Phillips and Akanji's too. Touch tight to Dominic Solanke. And the referee says that's a foul Bournemouth's way. Too aggressive from Manuel Akanji. On Solanke here. But in The Invisible Guest, Lanky, that's the film. Very good film. I really liked it anyway. Mepham. Back he goes to Mepham, does Quattara. Stevens. It's been a Bournemouth having a bit of possession towards the last 10 minutes. City tiring and a lot of change in the City team that have disrupted the rhythm a little bit. Mahrez comes back and wins the ball back for City. Walker into Perrone. Phillips. Calvin Phillips for City. Does everything very slowly, Phillips, I find. That's the only issue I've got with him at the moment. Akanji. Gomez is offering it a pass centrally. Manuel Akanji here. Gomez. Back to Akanji. Still Akanji. Looks for a forward pass into Alvarez, which he does fine. And Alvarez tries to go wide to Mahrez, but it's given away by City. And here's Zamora. Lovely run by the fullback, Zamora. Wide to Anthony. And behind to Zamora. Walker across here. Pulled it back. Chance here for Bournemouth. Lerma with a goal. 4-1. And Jefferson Lerma opens the scoring for Bournemouth. Still no clean sheet for Manchester City. Poor defending by City. It was a bad ball by Alvarez. Zamora skipped past a few challenges and Bournemouth pull one back. Jefferson Lerma. Zamora wide to Anthony. Bad defending by Phillips and Akanji. Walker can't stop it. Neither can Diaz. He just stretches a leg out. And Lerma smashed it into the roof of the net. And Bournemouth do pull one back. 4-1. Still no clean sheet in a long while for Manchester City. City are not happy. Edison wasn't happy, but I mean, he didn't even do anything. If he'd stood up straight there, Edison, he would have saved it. But he goes to ground and they put it into the roof of the net. And Pep Guardiola looks very unhappy that City conceded a goal there. Very, very unhappy the City have conceded a goal. MK predicted 4-1. You did, MK. Well, there you are. Your prediction has come true. You jinxed City to concede a goal there with 4-1. 4-1 Manchester City. Still time yet. You could be wrong. City could get a few more. Walker. Mahrez. Given away by Mahrez, then he wins it back and back into Walker again. And City a little bit shaky now. Walker with a short pass to Solanke. It's behind for a goal kick, but a shocking pass by Walker back to Ederson. Solanke's right on Ederson to try and stop it. Ederson in the end clears it into Solanke and be out for a goal kick. But that is poor by Kyle Walker. He's not looked so good since he's come on, actually. Even more comfortable with Rico Lewis in his position. Walker. Maximo Perron. To Walker. Walker's miscontrolled that one. He keeps it in and gives it straight back to Bournemouth. Anthony with a clip in here. Akanji cuts it out. Walker down to Maximo Perron. Akanji. And City just lump it forward. Well, City are a bit rattled here, aren't they, at the back? Ridai's really, really late. That's fine, Ridai. You get the last 5 minutes to enjoy. The team's done fantastic until about the 82nd minute mark, and City have dropped off massively. Bournemouth have scored, and Bournemouth have rattled City a little bit. Ball forward here by Bournemouth. Good interception by Akanji. Solanke. Rico Lewis into Mahrez. Back to Rico Lewis here. Counter for City. Rico into Alvarez. Across to Phil Foden. Julian Alvarez. If he makes a decent pass there, City are 5-1 up. It's a shocking pass by Alvarez. Gets it completely wrong. And Bournemouth come the other way. Rothwell. Rothwell into Solanke. Solanke forgets the football and Calvin Phillips picks it up for City. Phillips. Into Alvarez. Fights for it. Keeps it. Phillips. Out to Gomez. Been impressed with Alvarez's football and personalities like David Silva's. Honest, hard-working, a likeable, decent guy. Yeah, that is exactly what he is, isn't he? He works so hard all game, does Julian Alvarez. All game does he work hard, and he gives it his all, doesn't he? No matter what. 85 minutes now, you can guarantee he'll be pressing the goalkeeper. Here's Sergio Gomez. Maximo Perron. Into Alvarez, who's offside. Julian Alvarez here. Good play by Perron as well. Under pressure, flicked it into Alvarez quickly. Bournemouth 3 kick instead. Not long left, and the game has sort of dropped off now. Really has dropped off. Mepham. Goal scorer. Lerma. Well, 82% of you predicted a City win. I'm not going to end the poll yet because if I end it and Bournemouth score a few goals, I'd look stupid. And it might jinx it as well. Zamora here. Oh, he's passed Calvin Phillips so easily here, Zamora. Zamora. Good play. Lerma. Wide to Ryan Fredericks. Quatara. Up against Rico Lewis on this far right hand side. Lerma. Rothwell. Mepham. Chris Mepham into Jefferson Lerma. Fredericks makes a running behind. Foden can't intercept it. Fredericks across the box here. Solanke sliding in. It's into the hands of Ederson. And City just managed to stop that. But City have got to close Bournemouth down. They seem to stand and watch Bournemouth. City have really took the foot off the gas. They just stand and watch Bournemouth here. And we're lucky that Solanke sliding doesn't get a toe on that because it'd be 4-2. Oh, ball forward here by City's poor again. Jefferson Lerma. Ball through to Solanke. Akanji intercepts here. Diaz makes a big challenge. In there is Quatara. City get it away. Foden. Rico Lewis. Wide to Perron. Into Alvarez. Back to Maximo Perron, who's come on and made a big impact here. I think he's been good. Mahrez. I think it's Mahrez and Walker who've been the... Mahrez, Walker, Phillips been the poorest players since they've came on the field. Gomez. Maximo Perron. Gomez. Perron again. Gomez. Perron. Rico Lewis. Turn. Maximo. Turn. Gomez. Into Rico Lewis. Back across to Maximo Perron. Bad pass by Rico Lewis, but City keep going here. Could have gone to Phillips there, but City choose the safe option through Gomez. Back to Akanji. Walker. Out to Mahrez. It's a bad pass by Kyle Walker again. He's not made one decent passing since coming on, Kyle Walker. It's a throw into Bournemouth. Senesi. Been really bad since he's come on. Did we saw on like 5 players as Ridai yet? We've made quite a few substitutions. Walker came on. Or has come on. Sergio Gomez as well. Maximo Perron. Riyad Mahrez. Calvin Phillips. Anthony in behind Phillips here. Phillips across. Anthony. Zamora. Anthony. Phillips can't make the challenge. Jane Anthony still skips inside. Walker. Anthony! Right-footed strike just past the post. Kyle Walker and Phillips just stand off him completely. Walker and Calvin Phillips have been so bad since they've come on. Absolutely just stood off everyone and they might as well not be on the field. Been impressive by City, like Chris said. Until the point you came on, yeah. Until Ridai joined. And then City have gone bad. Edison Long for City. Up towards Mahrez. Can't turn away from Zamora. Rothwell picks it up. I mean, Walker and Phillips, they're just defensively so bad. City try to win it back here, they do. Maximo Perrone into Mahrez. Mahrez floored. Alvarez picks it up. Julian Alvarez. Into Rico Lewis. Lewis. Back to Sergio Gomez. Gomez goes for goal here. Strikes it over the bar. He's got Phil Foden to the left of him. And Gomez just lashed it over the bar. Rico Lewis looks at him and says, why? Phil Foden to the left-hand side in space. And Gomez goes for goal and just hammers it straight over the bar. Mepham, Senesi. City seem tired. Ball forward here. Akanji deals with Eddie Solanke. And Calvin Phillips down to Manuel Akanji. Gomez, Phillips, Gomez. Just gets past a few challenges. Into Rico Lewis. Rico. Can't go wide left to Foden because he's come inside. Phillips. Phillips still. Rico Lewis. Calvin Phillips. Diaz. Back he goes to Akanji. Manuel Akanji. Phillips. And back he goes all the way to Edison. Didn't fancy his chances. Phillips there. Trying to turn and play in a pass. Edison. Phillips. Akanji. Bournemouth press. Manuel Akanji. Into Maximo Perrone. Good touch and wide to Kyle Walker. Maximo Perrone again. Phillips. City certainly have taken their foot off the gas, just walking pace this game's being played at. Diaz. Gomez. Lewis. Rico Lewis. Sergio Gomez. Gomez in behind to Mahrez here. It's a bad pass by him. He's been... The cameos from Gomez, Mahrez... Well, yeah, Mahrez to an extent. Gomez, Phillips and Walker. Those three have been really poor since they've come on. Really poor. You can see why they haven't started today's game. Any of those three players. Pressing by Alvarez here, but it's only been out for a goal kick to Bournemouth. Stefan Ortega, Ilkay Gundogan on the bench. Rodri looking on. And Ilkay Gundogan has been given man of the match by Sky Sports. I think that's fair enough. I think Gundogan has been City's best player today. By far. Maximo Pro wins it back for City. Rico Lewis wide to Riyad Mahrez. City are in a chance here. Mahrez down. Free kick Manchester City on the edge of the box. Not a penalty by Zamora. It's a free kick and Mahrez. Chris Stevens is starting on Riyad Mahrez here. Giving him a push and Mahrez isn't happy about it. Mahrez is skipped past Senesi. And Zamora just... It's a penalty, I think, for Manchester City here. Mahrez is taken down in the box. Well, Mahrez is taken down in the box here. VAR will check this. This is a penalty. Zamora fouls him in the box. Well, VAR have just seen Mahrez get kicked in the box. But it's not a penalty. It's a free kick because Paul Tierney didn't see it. Mahrez gets kicked in the box there. Why is it not a penalty? Zamora kicks him while his foot is in the box. VAR give a free kick instead. I have no idea why. Calvin Phillips and Riyad Mahrez over this one. Surely it's not Phillips. It'd be Mahrez. Mahrez! Over the bar by Riyad Mahrez. Gets it wrong. Always heading wide by Mahrez there. Tries to hit it with power towards the goalkeeper's corner. And it's up and over the bar. Behind for a goal kick. I think it was too close to try and dip it over the wall. But I don't know why it wasn't a penalty instead. I feel like it easily should have been a penalty. So that's going to be full time. Once Neto lumps this ball forward. Full time, Manchester City 1, Bournemouth 1. So City with a good win here. Really, 3 points on the board. Expected 3 points, really. Needed 3 points as well after 2 draws in the last games. And we actually scored our chances. And that probably came from Julian Alvarez starting the game. He was absolutely fantastic. Well done to 83% of you guys who voted right that Manchester City would win. And well done to MK, who predicted the score correctly. Thank you for everyone to join. Please do like the video if you haven't all liked it already. That makes a difference to the channel. If you do enjoy it, do like the video. Do subscribe to the channel if you are new. And you can join the We Are City Silver membership club. Or the Bronze membership club to see videos early and extended, of course, not these lives. I can't go into the future and see these games before. Thank you for joining. Go and watch Liverpool versus Palace, which is on soon. And I'll see you guys next time, which will probably be for the Bristol game. Have a good weekend.